It's by Busich. Swung on a miss.
It's time for Wenatchee Applesox Baseball on the NCWLIFE channel. Coverage of tonight's broadcast is sponsored by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Abby's Pizza, Apple Valley Honda, Biosports Physical Therapy, Caldwell Banker Cascade Real Estate, Global Car Care, Harvest Valley Pest Control, the Highlander Golf Course and Grill, the Kennedy Real Estate Group, Les Schwab, Sangster Motors, Save Mart, Tacos Shava, Together for Youth, Valley Tractor, and Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Now, let's go live to Paul Thomas Senior Field on the campus of Wenatchee Valley College for Applesox Baseball on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel.
So the Applesox will advance. To Wenatchee Valley College, along with Brandon Schmidt. I'm Eric Grantstrom. Time for baseball here on the NCWLIFE channel. It's game 2 of the series between the Kamloops Northpaws, the visitors, and the homestanding Wenatchee Applesox. It was a close game last night. Wenatchee used a 4-run third inning to make the difference to get a 4-3 win last night. So Applesox tied with Bellingham atop the standings in the North Division. And, you know, it doesn't matter whether it happens now or late. That first half of the season, it's a sprint. You want to win that first half so you secure yourself a spot in the postseason.
Yeah, definitely. And we've got a long homestand up, too. We've got, what's this game, 2 of 6?
Yes.
In a row. So it's nice to get a little bit of momentum going into this home stretch. We're on a 3-game win streak, and hopefully we can rattle off another 5 to finish it off.
Well, the Applesox will send Karsten Sweem to the mound tonight. Here is a Gonzaga product, a sophomore Gonzaga, 6'3", 225-pounder. He has pitched 4 and has got a 4.21 earned run average with 9 strikeouts and, 0 ERA. He's pitched 4.2 innings so far, 9 strikeouts, 3 walks, and he's got the nod for the start here tonight. Didn't get a lot of chance to pitch at Gonzaga this year, but looking forward to see what Karsten Sweem has.
Yeah, we actually played him 2 years ago when I was coaching at Eastmont. He was at Glacier Peak. And big, hard-throwing left-hander.
Well, gee, surprise, surprise. It's pretty much all we've seen are hard-throwing pitchers for the Wenatchee Applesox. The Kamloops Northpaws come in with a record of 6-4. Prior to last night, they were in a 3-way tie with Wenatchee and Bellingham atop the standings. The Bells won last night. Applesox won last night, so they have separated themselves a bit at 7-3. Kamloops at 6-4. You know, the Northpaws, they had a weird home-and-home series last weekend against Kelowna, and I guess that's the way it's going to be because the two towns are only 2 hours apart from each other, so they play a game at Kelowna, a game at Kamloops, and then a game back at Kelowna, back and forth. We've got the national anthem right now here for Canada First with our visitors from the north and quite a few Canadians with the Northpaws.
Please remain standing for the playing of the Star Spangled Banner.
Well, there you go. The anthem's now taken care of, and we're ready for baseball here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. The Northpaws head coach is Riley Thompson. He's assisted by Jack Sleminski and Trey Newman. Starting it off will be the leadoff man, the second baseman, Elijah Clayton, batting .235 on the season. Batting second will be Connor Clark. He is the left fielder. Batting third, the shortstop, Drew Schmidt. Batting fourth will be the DH, Kalen Applefield. Batting fifth will be Jared Hall. He's the right fielder. Batting batting sixth, that is, the first baseman, Kian Gaffney. Brendan Burke will bat seventh. He is the catcher. Batting eighth is Anthony Sedekasi. He's the third baseman. And Ethan Kadama will bat ninth. He is the center fielder. Again, Karsten Sweem getting the start for the Applesox. No record so far for Wenatchee in 4 2/3, 0 ERA, 9 strikeouts. And something early in the season, Brandon, we're seeing is what you love, first pitch strikes. Go.
Yeah, that's definite. When you get ahead of a hitter as a pitcher, then you're in control. He can no longer sit fastball in his spot. He's got to be semi-protective as the count goes on.
Yeah, it really changes the at-bat, doesn't it?
It really does, yeah.
And that's what you love to see. Lefty going on the mound for the Applesox. And their red uniform tops with the white pants trimmed in blue and white. Love that patriotic red, white, and blue for the Applesox. Around the field defensively, Colby Holmdahl will be at first base. Camden Bates, who is just joining the ball club, is out at second base. In fact, we had to run around and find where he is on the roster as he was just added. Caden Martinez out shortstop. He is having a great season so far in the early going in 9 games. Kyle, I want to get it right here. Okay, I wrote it down phonetically. I did. Hold on. I got to pull it out of my sheets here. I was asking him in the dugout. He goes, "Are you ready?" Filipino, so.
Pangyanaban?
Pangyanaban.
You're the one that asked.
Is that right? Kyle Panangaban is the third baseman, and I'm sure because of that, he's going to be the hot corner here. Jack Barker's out in left field. Quincy Marlborough in center. Brady Bean, who's having a fantastic start out in right field, and behind the plate will be Mr. Henkel catching Mr. Sweem. It is Henry Henkel behind the plate, the battery mate, a junior out of Northwest Nazarene. And here we go with baseball tonight on the NCWLIFE channels. We get underway at 37 past the hour. The first pitch by Sweem, left-hander's delivery, and it's right down the middle, but apparently a little low.
A little low.
For ball 1, 1-0 the count. Our umpires tonight, Jacob Fisher behind the plate, and Hudson Boucher out in the base paths. The 1-0 pitch, swung on a miss, and boy, he blew that fastball right by him.
Yes,
evens the count at 1-1 strike.
He's got a very interesting start to his windup here. Looks like he's going out of the stretch here, but then he comes up and he's now in the windup position.
Yeah, it is.
Even though his left foot is stationary during the whole thing.
Swing and a miss here for strike 2. That is odd. He looks like he's pitching from the stretch, but then kind of squares up in a windup fashion.
Yeah.
So that's a little different, especially for those who haven't seen the gentleman out of Gonzaga University. Pitch on the way, and a swing and a miss here. So the first pitch apparently was out of the strike zone, but then 3 in a row, swing and miss, adding to our little breeze going out to right here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. So 1 down brings up Connor Clark. He's batting .400 on the season, 5'10", 175-pound sophomore from the University of Texas Tyler, and there's got to be a coaching staff link there because there's quite a few out of UT Tyler.
That's right, and there's 4 players we were mentioning earlier to ourselves from Cal Berkeley.
First pitch to Clark, swung on and hit foul up the first baseline.
When 6 of your 10 players are from 2 colleges, then there has to be a connection of some sort.
Yeah, definitely so. You know, and that's interesting, and you know, folks might wonder that with some of the folks who are, you know, you look at the roster for Wenatchee and you see a few guys from the same college. Not a lot though, but Mitch Darlington is an athletic director at a small high school.
Yeah.
Here in North Central Washington. He's not affiliated with anybody.
No, he's not.
Which I think it makes it even better.
Ed Neggs, when he was here, he had coached at Gonzaga for a little bit, and he got to know a bunch of people down in the California, you know, LA and USC area, so we were always getting players from there. So
absolutely.
Now I'm sure he's stealing some of those up at Bellingham.
Bellingham's off to a good start, tied with Wenatchee atop the standings in the North Division. Now that Ed Nags is coaching there. Boy, a tight strike zone here tonight, as we see early. 3-1 the count to Connor Clark, with nobody on, one out here, top of the first, just underway on a hazy day here at Paul Thomas. And actually, you know, a little weather change. That's what's in bringing the breeze our way. This pitch misses inside for ball 4. So a walk given up. But after the triple digits we had over the weekend heading into the week, I'm happy to have a little overcast here tonight.
Man, it was warm, wasn't it? Setting records all over the place.
And humid, too.
Yeah.
That's unlike here in eastern Washington. For those that are watching us around the country, Wenatchee, Washington, just about the geographic center of the state, but we're on the dry side of the Cascade Mountains that runs north and south through the state of Washington. So Drew Schmidt comes up, and the first pitch to him is a swing and a miss. 0-1 the count. Schmidt's a shortstop, batting .500. Now, don't let that fool you. He's leading the team, but he's 2 for 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If you're 20 of 40, then
well, yeah, and then
we'll
you'd be
start
like,
talking.
holy cow. How'd you get 40 at-bats in 8 games? Pitch on the way. Swung on it, chopped off the plate. Tough play for the third baseman. And not going to get there in time as... Yeah, I mean, what do you do there?
Yeah.
And we're seeing that more and more here on the new plate at Paul Thomas.
It bounces hard, doesn't
it? Bounces, yes.
Yeah,
it has that hollow sound to it.
The only possibility that he could have done on that is possibly tried to get behind it and came through it a little bit more to get some momentum to first base, but honestly, there's no way you're going to make that play there.
So Ponyanjibon not able to make the play over there at third base. I'm going to be working on that all night long, by the way.
Like you said, he's going to be in.
Yeah, he'll be
ground ball after ground ball.
Spot. Yeah, Kaylin Applefield is up now for Kamloops with runners on first and second and one out. Swing and a miss here, makes it strike 2. 0-2 the count to the 6'1", 205-pound freshman from UC Berkeley. Quite a few Berkeley players here. DH hitting 185 on the season. So not necessarily a dangerous man at the plate, and a turn and a toss to the bag at second, and back in time is Clark.
I like to see that because we've had quite a few stolen bases against us this year, and a lot of that you got to take into consideration the pitcher's timing.
Pitch misses just inside, a check swing as well, and as Brandon has mentioned in the past, on a two-man crew, not really fair to appeal out to the field umpire when he's on the third base side of the pitcher's mound on a check swing from a right-handed batter. Pitch here on the way is swung on, and I think foul tipped into the glove, so the second strikeout is the second out of the inning here for Kirsten Sweem. And with 2 outs and 2 on, that brings up Jared Hall.
Jared Hall.
Hall, the right fielder, batting .333, is a 5'11", 180-pound sophomore from Bethel University. He'll bat from the left side. So lefty on lefty here with runners on the bags at first and second. Pitch on the way is, my goodness. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's got a much delayed strike call here.
Yes, he does. Mr. Fisher behind.
And you know, Kamloops is coming out swinging because I think that's only the second called strike that we've had in the game.
Yeah, the rest were swinging messes.
Yeah.
0-1 to count here to Hall. Pitch on the way to the plate. Swung on a chop to the right side. This is going to be a tweener, and covering the bag, but late is Sweem over there. And that bounce off the plate once again benefits the offense, as Holmdahl had to wait for that thing to come down forever, and not much he could do. So another infield single.
That was one of those ones that, I mean, you're darned if you do and darned if you don't.
Yeah.
I mean, you could come up and try and field that, but then if you make an error on that, then runner's going to be scoring.
So bases loaded here for Kamloops, and Gaffney steps up. First pitch to him is a little bit high for ball 1. Kieran Gaffney, first baseman and 6'1", 200-pound junior from the University of Mary. 1-0 the count. Sweem trying to get out of a jam here in the first, and this pitch misses inside, almost hit the batter. 2-0 the count.
You know, we've got bases loaded here, but Sweem's pitching a lot better than...
Oh, yeah, than what is indicated here. In the paper tomorrow, you read about the 2 base hits in the first inning, but both, you know, field assisted off the plate. Swing and a miss here, and the count goes to 2-1 on Kieran Gaffney.
University of Mary. I don't know where that's at. Where that's located at.
It's a good question. Pitch on the way. Swung on and fouled off of the plate. And the count even now to Gaffney and 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, it would be an interesting first frame here for Mr. Sweem if he can get another strikeout. So he'd end up striking out the side, giving up 2 base hits and bases loaded situation.
Yeah.
How about that? 2-2 count. Karsten ready. And the left-handers pitch on the way. Swung on and fouled back right towards us, and the count stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Our broadcast tonight on the NCWLIFE channel brought to you in part by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling in Wenatchee. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Give them a call today at 509-662-6842. They're on the web at alpineair.net. Spell air, A-I-R-E. Pitch on the way, misses just high.
You know, right here, I would really like to see the first baseman sneak in behind the runner, because the runner is dancing out there a little bit. The first base coach is watching the pitcher.
Well, so it's a full count, so he's going to want to get an early lead. And they go, and the pitch is strike 3 called. Oh, my. Turns out to be a strikeout of the side. And tight walk for Mr. Karsten Sweem, but he'll get out of it. We'll head to the bottom of the first. No runs for Kamloops. Applesox are due up next. You're watching West Coast League Baseball on the NCWLIFE channel.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether.
We provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Applesox baseball on the NCWLIFE channel, brought to you in part by Abby's Pizza. For more than 50 years, Abby's has proudly served the Northwest with toppings to the edge, 100% real cheese, and freshly rolled dough. Order online at abbys.com. Along with Brandon Schmidt and Eric Granstrom with you here on the NCWLIFE channel as we are situated behind home plate and right underneath the very loud speaker, so we apologize for that. Dimensions here at Paul Thomas. I believe it was like 330, 333 down the line.
Yeah,
isn't it? Something like that.
It says we can always see that 3-2 down the right field line. So I think it's let's call it 328 and 335.
Okay, all right. And 408 to straightaway center field. Out there next to the 408 sign. Well, he's kind of swung around about 20, 30 feet from that is our cameraman out there, Juan Sanchez. Hello, Juan. He's waving. Hi there, Juan. We got a big crew here tonight to help us out, bring you this baseball game. Cade Martinez will lead it off for Coach Mitch Darlington. Cade steps up on the right side to face Jim Humdeval. Pitch on the way is bunted and fouled away, and chance for a fan to get
now,
that
is that
one.
Jim or JM? I think it's
JM.
Yes,
yes. I was trying to read my own writing there. JM Hardeval. There you go. That is the starter for the Kamloops Northpaws. 6'6", 235, redshirt fresh from UC Berkeley. It'll be interesting to see him pitch here. Pitch swung on, popped up a mile high. Looks like this is going to get back into the crowd, and it will, and hit one of our seats behind home plate. 0-2 to count to Cade Martinez. He hasn't pitched other than maybe doing some JV games or something like that at his college since he was in high school now going on 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been a while. 0-2 the count here to Cade Martinez.
Now he could have pitched last summer or.
Oh yeah, could be. Pitch here swung on a miss. That was a nice. I would call that a slider.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss by Martinez. First out of the inning for the Applesox.
Number 9, Brady B.
You know, Applesox offensively had one good inning last night, but were kind of held in check.
Yeah.
At the plate.
Yeah, we scored 4 runs in 1 inning, and other than that.
Yeah, that was it. Looks like the catcher has an issue here. Brendan Burke has to get a new mask or get a little duct tape to hold it together. Looks like it broke on that last swing and a miss. Let's get the rest of the lineup here for the Applesox and Coach Mitch Darlington. He's assisted by Quincy Vassar and Xander Orahudos. Brady Bean up next. He is the second man, the right fielder. Batting third will be Kyle Panyaban. He's the third baseman.
We need to just have him say his name and put it on
on the recording.
Yeah. Just play it every.
First pitch misses inside to Brady. Brady Bean having a great spring or summer so far, batting .343 for the Applesox. He was the West Coast League Player of the Week. On the offensive side, the first week of the season, this pitch is low and away for a ball. 2-0 the count to Bean. 5'10", 175-pound incoming senior at the University of Portland. 2-0 the count to him. Brady has shown himself to be quite a contact hitter for Coach Darlington. Pitch on the way, swung on and fouled away, and this one's going to reach pine trees on the first base side. The count goes to 2-1 on Brady Bean.
You know, we've talked quite a bit about players being on 10-day contracts, and Brady happens to be on a 10-day contract, and you and I both said, well, I hope that they continue to sign him. Yeah. I hope we can keep him here and playing. He's been doing great.
2-1 pitch on the way to him is swung on, and that's a hard hit ball, but that's going to be towards the center fielder. He went back first, and then the ball is caught or dropped? Caught. Wow, that was an interesting endeavor for Ethan Kadama out there. Kind of fooled him, but you know, we talked about that. Anybody who's playing at Paul Thomas for the first time, just like you go to any ballpark, sometimes seeing the ball off the bat isn't as easy during the game because you know, when you're doing batting practice and you're shagging some balls out there, they've got the little protector behind home plate, so it looks completely different coming off the bat during batting practice than it does during the game. It does, you're right. And the wind is blowing, well, it appears right now that it's blowing in from left field. Yeah. So that could have raised a little havoc there. Yeah. Swirling wind. This pitch is outside for a ball. 1-1 the count to KP. Shall we just call him KP? There you go. He's got a new nickname, whether he wants it or not. Ponganibon. You say it different every time. I know. This pitch is a line drive, but right at the center fielder. So it's a 1-2-3 story for the Applesox here in the first. Is Kyle Panyaban. KP flies out. We'll head to the second inning. I got 7 innings left to get his name right, folks. We'll work on that when we come back. After one scoreless here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium, it's Applesox baseball on the NCWLIFE channel.
You trust the same doctor for your health and the same dentist for your smile. Trust Global Car Care to keep your vehicle running strong. We track your car's history so it gets the right care at the right time. With our 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on parts and labor, you'll drive away with confidence. Global Car Care, your automotive experts. We service all makes and models, but specialize in Sprinter vans, Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen, and BMW. Call or visit us today.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Call Alpine Air Heating and Cooling today. Your comfort is their priority.
Welcome back once again to Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. Between the innings, they have contests, and this was a Build-A-Burger contest, and the young man who looked like he was going to win then dropped the bun to top the burger, and decided rather than topping the bun, he would do a flip, and he made it about 15/16 of the way.
Yeah.
But oh my, he hit hard with his foot.
Well, thank goodness they put that new turf in, right? Because
that's
landed both shins smack dab on it.
Brandon Burke will start it off here in the second inning as we are scoreless here in Wenatchee. Burke, the catcher, batting .313. He's a freshman at the University of San Francisco, 6 foot 195. Boy, they're making catchers bigger these days, aren't they?
Making all these athletes bigger.
Yeah, we talked about that, didn't we? So here we go, second inning for Carson Sweem. I'm sure he's hoping for a little bit easier frame here. First pitch is a swing and a miss. And out in front of that one was Burke, 0-1 to count. He was dialed up, and you talked about it. Kamloops coming in and being aggressive early in the count.
Yeah, they're not seeing many strike called, that for sure.
0-1 to count here. Sweem ready. And the pitch on the way by the lefty is low and away for ball one. Lots of games happening around the West Coast League tonight. How about Corvallis? You see that? They're off to a 1-5 start.
I saw that.
Meanwhile, Portland, the team that beat Wenatchee for the West Coast League Championship, is 10-0.
Yeah, Dylan woke me up last night. She got home a little bit late from the game, and my daughter works for the Applesox doing the marketing, and she's like, Dad, the Portland Pickles just set a record for the most consecutive wins. So I don't know if that was their own record.
Going back to last year, must be.
It must be, yeah. So it's a good feat for them.
Yeah. No, they're impressive, and I think they've played, if I'm not mistaken, every single game at home so far.
Oh, really?
Which is a strange kind of quirky way to.
Corvallis has probably played the majority of their games away because
Oregon State was.
Well.
Oh wow, that's a shot to left field, going to go all the way to the warning track. Rounding first, heading for second is Brennan Burke, and he'll be in with a stand-up double to lead it off here in the second.
With Oregon State playing in the regionals at home and then the super regionals at home, and I'm sure they're still practicing, so they kind of take precedence over summer ball team right now.
You know, there's a new team in the league this year, the Marion Berries, which are out of Salem, and they don't play home until like latter part of this month, so the first majority of the season. So I don't know what's happening in their home ballpark in Salem, and I'm not sure where they're playing. If was it the Salem Volcanoes? That was a single A team. Swing and a miss here. Down 0-1 on Anthony Sedekasi. The third baseman steps up with a runner in scoring position. So it is a tightrope here for Mr. Sweem, early going for the Applesox on the mound. The 0-1 pitch from the lefty after a check. The runner a couple of times out at second base is on the way to the plate. Swung on a chop slowly to the left, and Panganangani
right there.
Who makes the play? That was not easy, nor is his name. So KP makes the play over there at third.
So that was a good play there, and you notice our shortstop came back over to third base to cover it up for him too. So
yeah, they held the runner at second. So good all the way around.
And that again was a high hopper off the plate area.
Ethan Kadama is up. He had an interesting first inning defensively. Kind of toss out to the bag at second, but not really to the bag, to the shortstop. But that's good. You mentioned the fact that there's been teams running against Wenatchee here on the Orla going, and Henkel behind the plate, haven't seen him a lot catching so far. So you don't know what his aptitude is on trying to throw guys out. Pop up here, diving play, and KP makes the play in foul territory. How about that?
That was a great play right there. That's fun. Gave him confidence too to slide there because you've got the net right up against that fence. So.
Yeah. Well, he's gonna force me to learn how to say his name because he might join us on the post-game show at this
there you go.
This rate.
Need to just get the game-winning hit too.
Panganibon. Pitcher swung on and fouled. I'm just going to keep working on it. You call the game. I'm going to keep working on it.
Panyanabon.
Panyanabon? No, it's not Yang. It's Panganibon. Panganibon. There, that's it.
There you go.
Panganibon. There you go. 0-1 the count to Elijah Clayton. He struck out in his first at-bats and will take strike 2 here. Second baseman came into the game batting .235 for Kamloops. Back in the right-handed batter's box. Kind of looking at that bat, wondering if maybe he has a hole in it. We'll do the count. Sweem ready with 2 down here in the inning. A couple of defensive gems. Pitcher swung on, popped up, foul territory. Wind is going to help blow this one out of play, and the count stays at 0-2 strikes. Our broadcast also brought to you by Apple Valley Honda. Test drive a new Honda today at Apple Valley Honda. They're in East Wenatchee and committed to preserving the environment, not only with fuel-efficient vehicles, but also other eco-friendly actions and alternatives at Apple Valley Honda. 0-2 count here. Clayton back in and ready. Sweem is ready. And the lefty's pitch on the way to the plate. Swung on and missed. And how about the job by Mr. Karsten Sweem? Got a bases loaded situation in the first and struck out the side. And now here in the second gives up a leadoff double and then nada. Scoreless for Kamloops. We'll head to the bottom of the second. We're scoreless in the Wenatchee here on the NCWLIFE channel. Highlander Golf Course and Grill, located in East Wenatchee, offers terrific views and challenging play for golfers at every skill level. From the golf course to the grill, you don't need to be a member to dine in style and play golf too. Highlander's well-groomed fairways and greens keep it difficult, yet friendly for your regular rounds of golf or a new destination for you and your out-of-town friends. Contact the Highlander Pro Shop today to schedule your tee time, outing, or tournament. Open 7 days a week, where everyone is welcome to play and eat. Applesox baseball on the NCWLIFE channel, brought to you in part by Biosports Physical Therapy, Aqua Therapy, Sports Biomechanics, Orthopedic Physical Therapy, Orthotics, all you need to keep moving. Find them online at biosports.net. They're open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Be in middle of the order, due up for Coach Mitch Darlington, Noah Fields, Camden Bates, and Jack Barker. Number 4, 5, 6 for the Applesox to face J.M. Hardeval. Hardeval leans back before him, and he's got that old-fashioned kind of lean back before he comes to the plate with a pitch.
Yeah, he looks like he's working a little bit harder than what Karsten is, and I think Karsten's got a little bit more velocity going too.
Yeah. So here we go. Noah Fields, 6'2", 200-pound junior from the University of Texas Arlington for the Applesox. Great so far this season as Noah steps up. First pitch to him is a ball. 1-0 the count to Noah. Applesox took care of business last night here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium with a win, 4-3 the final over Kamloops to maintain their positioning in the standings. Good eye by Noah Fields there. 2-0 the count. Fields in last night's game an overnight, which has been rare so far this season. Came into last night's game batting .275 on the season. Oh, the 2-0 count here. Well, look out. Little armpit music. 3-0 the count. I don't know. Is there armpit music?
I've never heard of that one.
If you're a 6-year-old, if you're a 6-year-old,
oh,
you know,
there
where
is.
you put the hand under the armpit.
Yep.
3-0 the count to Fields. I know there's folks shaking their heads back home right now. This pitch high and inside, so a leadoff walk given up here by Hardeval. And Fields aboard brings up Camden Bates. Were you able to learn anything about Camden Bates other than
Arizona State University?
Okay.
He's a junior from Arizona State University. Probably was playing in the I'm pretty sure that they played in the regionals.
Yeah,
I don't think they made it to the super regionals. So
he probably had some things to do to prepare himself to get up here north. First pitch to Camden Bates on the way, and fastball misses low for ball one. Again, our umpires, Jacob Fisher behind the plate, Hudson Boucher out there on the base paths.
I'm gonna look him up here. I like to see that he took that pitch here, and hopefully he's going to take another one here just to make him throw a strike. He had a quick first inning. Now that's 6 straight balls that he's throwing, so I wouldn't mind to make him throw a strike. Yeah. JM only threw 10 pitches in the first inning, and that's a great first inning, so he's already at 6 right here going on 7.
And all out of the strike zone. 2-0 the count to Bates. And the pitch here is inside as well. Oh, inside strike, I'll say, and the count goes to 2-1.
There you go, Cam.
Fans here at Paul Thomas, a little surly about the call from our home plate umpire.
Not real appreciative of that?
No, they weren't. I'll let them do the barking. Pitch here swung on a hit back over the mound, and it will leak into center field for a base hit. So welcome to Wenatchee. Camden Bates leads off with a base hit in his first plate appearance. Runners at first and second. The Applesox in business here in the second inning as Jack Barker steps up.
All right, Jack.
So Camden played at Tennessee in 2023 and then transferred over to Arizona State this year. Played in 5 games, had 6 at-bats, 1 hit, scored 1 run. So didn't get a ton of playing time.
Ooh, this is a hard hit ball. That's going to bounce and almost get away from the right fielder. Rounding third, heading for home and scoring on the RBI single is Noah Fields. Applesox up 1-0.
That ball must have hit a worm mound or something out there.
Sprinkler head out there, maybe?
Yeah.
Well, Noah Fields was off like a shot. He's got some pretty good wheels, so he comes around to score on the RBI single by Jack Bender. So 1 run in, give an RBI to Barker, excuse me, and that'll bring up Colby Holmdahl. And we'll get a visit to the mound quickly here for the Kamloops Northpaws. Were you able to get the Applesox media guide? Is that where you found that information?
Actually, just found it on a Google search.
Oh, okay.
Went to the Arizona State
Good
baseball.
Old Google.
Yep.
Let's see.
It's out of Washington, Oklahoma.
Colby Holmdahl.
So 2 aboard for the Applesox, 1 in, and the pitch here swung on. This is a little looping ball, going to drop into left center field for a base hit. So the Applesox back-to-back singles, that by Holmdahl, and they've loaded it up for Quincy Marlboro. Beautiful little inside-out swing.
Yeah, that was.
Bates down to third base, lining up at second as Barker, Holmdahl at first. And as I mentioned, Quincy Marlboro coming to the plate for the Applesox.
Center fielder out of Purdue.
This pitch bounces in. Nice job by the catcher, Brandon Burke, to keep that from getting too far away from him.
You know, we watched the first 7 pitches of the inning, and then base hit on the next 3. So get the pitch count up.
One-0 pitch on the way here is a strike. Boy, he is very deliberate. He is our home plate umpire, Jacob Fisher, with a strike call. The drama.
Yes.
1-1 the count. So Major League Baseball going to go apparently to a computerized help at home plate next year.
Yeah.
This pitch is low for a ball. 2-1 to count. So basically they tried it in spring training this year where they could appeal a ball or a strike. Usually it's, you know, on the defensive side, so it's called a ball, but they think it might be a strike, so they could appeal. Haven't heard the details on how many of those you get a game and if you get it right or if you get it wrong. It was, 2 during the spring training. You got 2 appeals. If you got it right, you got another one.
Okay. Yeah, the minor leagues have been doing it for multiple years.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is,
well, minor leagues, they didn't go to all electric.
I don't
balls
believe
and strikes.
So.
Pitch here is ball 4, so another run's going to score for the Applesox. Quincy Marlboro give him a RBI on the bases loaded walk. And we see bodies moving around down in the Kamloops bullpen. And, well, you talked about it. Work that count.
Yes, that's true. Going back to the balls and strikes appeals, a player got kicked out of the game the other day, a major league player, because he tapped his head, and that's the call for, hey, I want to take that to review. The umpire didn't take too kindly to it, so he tossed him.
Henry Hinkle, the ninth man of the order for the Applesox, standing in now with the bases jammed. And by the way, nobody out. Pitch here is a strike, and the count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. We'll get you up to date on what's happening around the rest of the West Coast League coming up. Mariners unfortunately lost earlier today and were swept in that series down in Arizona. This pitch misses away for a ball. 2-1 to count to Hinkle.
The most disheartening one was we tied it up. 2 outs.
The first game of the series.
Yeah, 2 outs down by 4, hit a home run to eventually tie it up.
Yeah,
it wasn't
scored
a grand
4
slam,
runs with 2 outs in the 9th inning and then lose in a walk-off grand slam.
Yeah.
Another grand slam today hit by Arizona and its former Mariner, Eugenio Suarez. And that was the game. I mean, it was close until that point, and then good night, Irene. 3-1 pitch here is a strike called, so the count goes full at 3-2 to Henry Hinkle.
All right, Henry, here we go.
Applesox began the inning with a walk by Noah Fields. Camden Bates with a single ran up the middle. Jack Barker with an RBI single. This pitch fouled away, and the count stays at 3-2. Kobe Holmdahl with a base hit, and then a bases loaded walk to Marlboro. 2 runs in the inning. Applesox still threatening here with a 3-2 count on Henry Hinkle, and still nobody out for Wenatchee. 3-2 pitch on the way, swung on, popped up foul, and this is going to slice out a play on the third base side, so the count remains at 3-2.
Good at bat.
But they're
here.
making him throw a lot of pitches.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, you go from a 10-pitch first inning, like I had mentioned. Now he's well over that in the last 2 batters.
It's like they've got a left-hander warming up down in the bullpen, does Kamloops. 3-2 pitch again on the way to Henry Hinkle, and it's hitting the center field for a base hit. 1 run's going to score for sure. Rounding third, they're going to try to score 2. Here comes the throw. It's cut off. No throw home. 2-run score. Hinkle puts the Applesox up 4-0.
Gotta love it, don't you?
Now batter number 2, your rear batter, Gabe Martinez.
Good piece of batting all the way around for the Applesox here in the inning. As Hinkle stands out at first base, feeling the juice of driving in a couple runs.
Yeah,
back to the top of the order for Gabe Martinez.
And that was an 8-pitch at bat too. That in itself is a great at bat, but to end that with a base hit just makes it that much sweeter.
So 4 runs in the inning. Applesox on top 4-0, and the sign by the home plate umpire was in reference to a meeting on the mound, I assume.
Yes, that was a second visit.
Okay, so. Second visit to the mound. So they make another. They got to make a pitching change, right?
You know, I'm not sure of the mound visits. They changed that in the last couple of years.
Okay.
Used to be where the catcher could go out as often as he wanted to, and now it's limited.
Pitch here is in for a strike to Cade Martinez, who struck out in the first as the Applesox were retired in order by Jam Hardeval. Struggling here in the second, allowing 4 runs so far and responsible for those behind him on the base pass. This pitch swung on, hit hard to the left field, and that's going to go over the left fielder's head. Rounding third and heading for home is Marlboro, right behind him and holding at third base. No, they're going to wave him home. Here comes the throw. The slide is safe. Boy, that was aggressive by Coach Mitch Darlington over there in the third base coach's box. And now they're going to say that everybody's safe. And out there at second is Martinez. Give him a couple of RBI.
Yeah, that was a tough play because went over his head, run into the wall, shortstop, had to go out. He made a great pick on that and came up and made a great throw as well. So defensively, other than the misplay by the left fielder there, everything else on that play was very well done, which made it a bang-bang play there.
Well, looks like we're going to get a new pitcher, so while the change is made, we'll take a 60-second break on the broadcast. Applesox in business and still doing business here in the second, up 6-0. We're back after this on the NCWLIFE channel.
Apple Valley Honda is bringing the future of driving to you. Introducing the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue EV. Say goodbye to gas stations and hello to a whisper-quiet ride and zero emissions. The wait is over. Finally, a local option for a quality EV from a brand with a track record of exceptional quality and reliability. Experience the Honda Prologue EV for yourself at family-owned Apple Valley Honda. Stay close to home and visit us at Apple Valley Honda today for the life you live.
The agents of Kennedy Real Estate Group are committed to providing the ideal client experience. We believe in the power of relationships. Why? Because we don't just work here, we live here. From the nonprofits we serve, the parks where we play, and the local businesses we support, our team understands the value of living in the Wenatchee Valley. Let's begin your real estate story.
Well, kind of a tough start there for GM Hardeval. He goes an inning plus and has given up 6 so far and responsible for the runner out at second base as he heads for the dugouts. And now into the ballgame is Tyler Straley, a 6'1", 190-pound freshman from Arkansas Pine Bluff, originally from Henderson, Nevada. So Straley takes over on the mound while we get him with his warm-up tosses here. Let's get you a little update on what's happening in the West Coast League. Bellingham leading Bend 3-0. That's at Joe Martin Field tonight. They are still in the bottom of the first in that one. In Ridgefield tonight, the Raptors are on top of Yakima Valley 1-0. It is scoreless in the bottom of the first. Edmonton at Kelowna. Marionberry's looking for their 4th win of the season. Scoreless so far in the bottom of the second at Cowlitz tonight. You've got Springfield at Corvallis, and the Knights off to a rough start, but a good start here tonight. They're up 4-0. That's in the bottom of the first inning. And Walla Walla at Portland tonight. And how about the Pickles? Off to a 10-0 start, going to try to make it 11-0 here this evening at Walker Stadium. Brady Bean steps up. He'll be the first man to face the newcomer in the ballgame, Straley, and the first pitch is a strike. 0-1 the count.
You know, I was just looking out here, and we've got red on red playing the game. There's not too many sports that you can play where both teams wear the same colors.
No.
But for baseball, it doesn't much matter.
This pitch swung on and hit in the air to right field. This is going to be caught by the right fielder. Runner from second will feign head to third, and he'll stay right there at second base.
Thought the wind was going to hold that up a little bit more and have that drop down.
So that's finally the first out recorded here in the inning. So Wenatchee will bat around here in the second frame as Kyle, here we are again. Panyanaban.
You said there's no nya in it.
Well, I'm saying there is now.
Okay.
Because that helps me get to the rest of it. Kyle is 0 for 1 with a line out in his first at bat. This pitch here is in there, no, outside for a strike, or a ball, excuse me. 1-0 the count to Panyanaban.
I like the aggressiveness here of Cade Martinez at second base. He's getting a really good job, or doing a really good job of getting a good secondary. And that's the one thing, like we've talked about, where our pitcher, Carson Sweem's been doing a really good job tonight of holding him on there, not allowing this good secondary to go, which keeps them from trying to steal third base here.
And as you saw with that throw out to the bag at second, it was low, and you can very easily get yourself another bag on that low throw. This pitch swung on and fouled away, and a count even to KP at 1-1.
Well, and another thing too is look at how far out of position now the second baseman is. He's doing a good job of getting himself back over there, but there's a big hole in between the first baseman and second baseman here.
Pitch on the way, swung on and a fly ball out of play down the right field line, so the count goes to 1-2.
So what the runner at second base is looking for here is the pitcher to be consistent in his looks. We call it looks. The number of times that he turns his head.
Pitch here swung on and hit in the air to center field. Back goes the center fielder at the warning track. Finally makes the catch. Meanwhile, tagging from second, heading to third, and making a turn at third is Cade Martinez. He'll move ahead on the fly out to center. And another ball that was just tagged.
Yeah.
2 outs in the inning. And we'll get back to where we started this frame with Noah Fields, who walked to start it off and then came around to score on the RBI single by Jack Barker. Applesox up 6-0, all 6 runs in this inning, if you're just joining us.
We'll get back to the looks when we get another guy on second base.
Pitch here is low for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Noah Fields. So the Mariners losing 5-2, it was 2, right?
Yeah,
5-2 today.
So. Yeah.
Pitch on the way, swung on, and a fly ball to right field. Let's see what the wind does with this one, and it will blow all the way almost to the warning track out there, but will be an out. And the Applesox are finally retired after to bring 10 men to the plate in the second, and they score 6 runs, lead it 6-0. You're watching Applesox baseball on the NCWLIFE channel.
A new video game, a movie, dinner with friends. There are a lot of things worth saving up for. Vapes aren't cheap, and buying pods over and over can stop you from affording things you want more. When it comes to your money, choose what matters. Choose you.
When life gets stressful, jumping into your passions can help you find your calm. Avoid vapes, which contain nicotine and can make feelings of anxiety and depression worse. When it comes to your mental health, choose what matters. Choose you.
Welcome to the summer of good. Good people, good taste, good vibes, and good, well, everything. When you're ready for some old-fashioned good, Abby's is your place. We've been celebrating summers around the PNW for over 60 years. At Abby's, good is a legendary tradition. Here's a good-looking pizza, guaranteed to bring some summer smiles. And right now, it's on sale, so it's good for your wallet too. This giant is loaded with toppings and can feed up to 6 people. Order at abbys.com. Give us a call or just drop by. It's the summer of good, only at Abby's Legendary Pizza.
Applesox baseball here tonight, brought to you in part by Coldwell Banker Cascade Real Estate. For all your real estate needs in Central Washington, they're on the line at 509-888-8887. That's the old way of saying call them. 509-888-8887. Nobody has a dial-up phone anymore.
A landline? Yeah, I don't think so.
Or
the ones that
the rotary phone.
Yeah.
My brother, my folks would be out, and my brother is old enough to watch me, but he would convince me to dial 0 on the old rotary phone and ask the operator where my parents were.
And you did it how many times? These
days, you get CPS showing up at
Probably.
your house. Back then, the operator says, "Would you knock it off?" It's also when you could call the operator and ask what time it was.
Yeah. Yep.
Believe it or not, kids, it was the case. Connor Clark, Drew Schmidt, and Kalen Applefield do up here in the third for Kamloops. It has been a tight walk, honestly, for Carson Sweem so far, but he's been able to work out a couple of jams here, 2 innings in a row. Let's see what he does here in the third. Now he's got a 6-0 lead. Pitch on the way, swung on a fly ball, fouling out of play on the first base side.
I really love seeing that he came out and was aggressive with that first pitch, and hopefully he continues to do it because it is now mentally
it's a different game for him.
Different game, yeah.
He could be aggressive. He could go right at him. The 0-1 pitch on the way is high with a fastball for ball 1. Connor Clark walked in his first plate appearance. Kamloops got the bases loaded in that first inning, but Sweem was able to work out of it with a strikeout looking on Kieran Gaffney. Pitch on the way here is a little bit high, I guess. 2-1. Our position behind home plate is off to the first base side by about probably 15 feet or so. So, it's a little difficult for us to see those inside pitches.
Right, and we're looking down at it too.
2-1 pitch here is ripped to the right side and through for a base hit. And the ball will take an ugly hop and get past the right fielder, Brady Bean. Rounding second, heading for third on the play will be the runner. The throw into third base is knocked down there by KP. So that'll be a base hit and an error on the right fielder, and that looked like it hit that same spot where it did for Wenatchee offensively.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, and then kind of looked like Bean didn't quite hustle after that one, which allowed the runner to get to third base on that. I would have liked to seen him sprint a little bit more on that, but
So a base hit with an error puts a runner at third base with nobody out. Drew Schmidt will now step up. He had that ball bounding off of the plate in his first at bat. The first pitch here, fastball misses inside and high. 1-0 the count to Schmidt. Little plate impacted base hit for Schmidt in that first inning. Pitch here is an off-speed pitch. Beautiful in there for a strike, and the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. These two teams will play again tomorrow night in the final game of this 3-game series, and then Port Angeles comes to town on Friday for the first of 3, and we'll be back here to broadcast here on the NCWLIFE channel. The 1-1 pitch is missing outside for a ball. What are you seeing from Mr. Sweem on the mound here for the Applesox?
He, like we've talked about, his velocity is very good, and he's got a very tight slider that he's mixing in and doing a really good job. You know, mechanically, I've never seen him pitch before, but it looks like he's doing well.
Pretty sound.
Yeah.
3-1 the count here to Schmidt. And the pitch on the way is a fastball strike call. And the count goes full to Schmidt at 3-2.
Yeah, his fastball, he gets up on top of that thing and has some pizzazz on it, doesn't he?
There is a system here in the ballpark. It's called TrackMan, where it does track velocity of pitches and things like that. Pitch here swung on, popped up a mile high in right center, and center fielder will catch it. Marlboro will throw in and cut off, and no run will score on a nice job by Quincy Marlboro. Talk about that, Coach. On a fly ball like that, you have time to get yourself set up for the throw before you ever make the catch.
That's right. And that ball, looking from our vantage point, that ball moved probably 40 feet from left to right from our vantage point. That had a lot of spin on it. And like you said, he was able to get behind the ball and get himself going forward through it. It wasn't just catch the ball and then have to do a little bit of giddy up. He was doing his giddy up as he was catching it.
And the ball cut off by Holmdahl, the first baseman, and nice throw, and keeps the runner at third base, so no run score. 1 out in the inning with a runner at third. 1-0 the count to Kalen Applefield. Next pitch is a fastball missing inside for ball 2. Applefield struck out swinging in the first. As Sweem has, 4 strikeouts in the game so far for the Applesox. 2-0 the count here. This pitch is a strike. Boy, he likes that high inside call, doesn't he?
He does,
This home plate umpire, Jacob Fisher. Hudson Boucher out there on the base paths. He's to the left of the pitcher's mound as we look at it, the third base side behind the Karsten Sweem. 2-1 the count to Applefield. A swing and a miss here. We saw a lot of that in the first frame and haven't seen so much of it since on the swing and miss.
Yeah.
2-2 count to Applefield. Another UC Berkeley product steps back in the right-handed batter's box. And the pitch by Sweem. Strike 3 called. How about it? Just froze him solid. 2 outs in the inning, and there's your 5th strikeout. And that
must have been looking for a different pitch than a fastball, because that was a good pitch right there.
Applesox fans here in the ballpark getting free swag. Looks like, is it socks they're handing out?
They are, yeah, the Applesox.
Oh, nice. First hit pitch here to Jared Hall is in for a strike. 0-1 the count. And I'll tell you, this will be 3 innings in a row of magic tricks by Karsten Sweem.
Yeah, and you know,
if he can get out of it.
Right, and truthfully, he's given up 3 hits, which
one of them was a hit. The other 2 were infield, dribblers off the plate.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss here by Hall, so he's 1 pitch away from getting out of danger again here in the 3rd.
And actually, I have him down for 4 hits because he gave up that little blooper base hit as well. The 2 off the plate, and then the blooper base hit, and then the 1 to right field.
Yeah, 2, 3, 4. Yep, so do I.
Yeah.
I don't have that on the scoreboard.
Only 2 of those balls have been hit
hard,
decently hard. Yeah.
1 and 2 the count here to Hall. And left on left with pitch on the way is a little outside. Little twitch.
It's more of
Mr.
a
Hall.
slider there.
Well, you just don't see a left-hander with a slider like old Randy Johnson used to have. Just don't see that anymore. Pitch on the way here, swung on and hit hard but foul, opposite way down towards the bullpen area for the Applesox. And the count stays at 2-2. Applesox baseball brought to you by Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Give them a call at 509-662-6842. That's 509-662-6842. 2-2 count to Hall. Runner at third. And the pitch. Swung on, and this is going to drive in the first run for Kamloops on a base hit to right field. And Brady Bean misplays it again out there. Kind of nonchalant in his approach to the ball.
Kept it in front of him there, though, and he did. I mean, that's all he needed to do on that play.
So it's now 6-1 as Connor Clark will stroll home from third base on the RBI single by Jared Hall. And that'll bring up Kieran Gaffney. Kieran was up with the bases jammed in the first and struck out looking to end that frame for Kamloops. Pitch to him here. Ooh, look out inside. Got him to duck away from it. 1-0 the count.
That was some chin music. We'll call that chin music, not armpit music.
Ooh, quick pickoff move over to first base and just a little snap throw by Sweem. Nice little chuck over there. Holmdahl with the tag, and it was close play.
That was.
1-0 instead, another toss to the bag at first. 2 different looks there on the toss.
Yeah.
First was just a
step off the back.
Step off the back and chuck it. This one a little more deliberate with a step that way. 1-0 count to Gaffney. And the pitch on the way is a fastball missing high for ball 2. You know, 6-1 lead, you probably would prefer your pitcher just pay attention to the guy at the plate right now, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, but
with 2 outs.
You also want to keep him in check, too.
Pitch is swung on and missed, and the ball got away from the catcher. Meanwhile, down to second base goes the runner.
I was going to say, because you know, you get a guy at second base, any little flare that gets hit in the outfield, now he's going to be scoring for sure. At first base, you know, keeps the force in order at second base. So
even though he swung at that, is that considered a wild pitch since it was in the dirt?
Yeah.
Or do you?
I don't know if you call that a pass ball or a wild pitch, or
you don't call it a stolen base. That's
no,
for sure. This pitch is in there for a called strike, so the count 2-2 on Gaffney here. Runner at second base. So I'm a former catcher, so I'm going to give him a wild pitch. We got catcher pitcher. We got the battery here calling the game, and there another swing and a miss. And how about 6 strikeouts in the game here for Karsten Sweem? He's through 3. The Kamloops gets a run on a couple of base hits and 1 man left. We will head to the bottom of the third. Wenatchee up 6-1 here on the NCWLIFE channel.
Get a great deal on making the most of every property. The Kubota commercial landscape lineup is built to do more. From the RTVX utility vehicle to the Z700 mower to the SVL track loader. When your reputation is on the line, you need equipment that doesn't let you down. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for 48 months, or save up to $4,000.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low price.
We head to the bottom of the third inning. Applesox up by a score of 6-1. They scored all 6 runs in the last frame. Batted around with 10 batters coming to the plate. 6 runs on 5 hits. 1 man left on. Leading it off here in the third will be the new man, Camden Bates. got a base hit to center in his first plate appearance for the Applesox. And Coach Mitch Darlington.
Tyler Straley came in and kind of shut us down in that last inning.
Yeah, he did. So it'll be interesting to see what Mr. Straley does here in his first full inning of work. Well, I guess he got all 3 outs, so I guess he did get an inning in that second frame.
Yeah.
Pitch on the way by Straley here is off speed and a strike. I'm getting to learn this umpire. I can tell when he's going to throw when he's going to call it a strike.
Pause.
Yes.
Then
yes. He has a little step back move. This sidearm delivery here is a strike.
This guy kind of reminds me of Fernando Valenzuela with peek behind, not quite as much as what he did, but look as he goes, he's getting a big, huge leg kick and turn of the torso.
1-2 the count here to Camden Bates. He'll be followed by Jack Barker and Colby Holmdahl here in the third inning for Wenatchee. Pitch swung on and a line drive over the first baseman's head into right field. Nice job going with the pitch. It was a little outside, and Camden Bates, hello, 2 for 2. Welcome to Wenatchee.
Yeah, it's a good thing he got here.
Just in the nick of time.
Jack Barker.
So Jack Barker, who had an RBI single in his last at bat and scored, 1 for 1 tonight for Mr. Barker out of a junior at Colorado Mesa. Pitch to him here is a little outside for a ball. 1-0 the count. Barker batting from the left side. He is way back in the box.
He is.
Left foot standing on the back of the batter's box stripe. Pitch to him, swung on a miss. Boy, he was going for the fence on that swing.
And what a pleasant thing for them to have turf at home plate.
Yeah.
Makes cleanup of the field so much faster.
Well, and also for the fans here at Paul Thomas, there's not the dust whipping up in your face on a breezy night like this. Runner from first goes. The throw down to second was in time, but he's sliding on the back side of the bag. Oh, the runner, he says the umpire, was off the bag, and then they'll tag him out. Wow.
Slid through, and
apparently.
Good job of going back by the second baseman there.
So caught stealing 2-4 for the first out.
Actually, you know what? That would have been the shortstop's play on that one. So I misspoke on that.
Okay, was it shortstop?
Yeah.
So Barker still at the plate. Ball and 2 strikes to him here. Down the pitch, swung on and hit to the left side. Third baseman over will drop the ball as he tried to get to it. Sedekassi maybe would have been better to let Schmidt, the shortstop, handle that. But Schmidt, I don't know if anybody's going to make the play, though.
No. Yeah, that was a tough one.
You going to give him a base hit there, Coach?
Oh, you know me.
E5?
Well, that's honestly, I think if he fields that, he has plenty of time to come up and make the play there.
Okay.
But again, I'm kind of stingy when it comes to giving away hits.
You are. Runner from first goes. The throw down is in plenty of time.
Great
so 2
pickoff
pickoff moves in a row here, and well, not pickoff moves, but just flat out Brennan Burke throwing a couple of guys out. So the Applesox kind of learning the errors of their ways here.
Yeah, they did give an error on that one.
They did. Okay.
Yeah.
Holmdahl will take ball 2 meanwhile.
Yeah, Jack went on a ball in the dirt there, and just a great play by catcher to pick it and go.
Holmdahl 1 for 1 with a base hit and a run scored in the 6-run second for the Applesox. 2 down, nobody aboard, and the pitch on the way is outside for a ball. 3-1 to count to Colby Holmdahl, a junior out of Edmond, CC. Few community college players for Coach Mitch Darlington.
Yeah.
3-1 to count here, and this pitch is a strike on the inside corner, so the count runs full to Mr. Holmdahl.
Which is kind of crazy, because if you're a community college guy and you don't make a squad like this, where do you end up going to play?
This pitch swung on a grounded right to the shortstop, who was playing over towards second, and the throw low could not be dug out by Gaffney at first base. So aboard on an error is Colby Holmdahl.
And I'm giving that one 100% to the first baseman there. That was, ball didn't hit the ground. It was a little bit low, but should have been caught.
So a couple of errors in the inning here. Can the Applesox cash in? Well, now they finally got another base runner aboard after 2 were caught stealing. And Quincy Marlboro steps up, walked with the bases loaded, giving him an RBI and a run scored. Pitch on the way to him is across for a strike. 0-1 to count to Quincy Marlboro out of Purdue. I don't know if we've had a Boilermaker here at Wenatchee before. That's something we should do. We should put a list together of all the colleges that have had participants that have played in Wenatchee for a summer.
Yeah.
Pitch here is low and inside.
That list would be pretty large.
It would be pretty large, but it would be pretty interesting.
Mostly West Coast, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Mostly, yeah, West Coast, Northwest guys. 1-1 to count to Marlboro here, and the pitch on the way, swung on, broken bat is going to hit a hop. A nice play by the shortstop. Schmidt will flip to second for the out. That'll do it here for Wenatchee. So they, couple of errors defensively, a base hit, and no score for Wenatchee. So we'll head to the 4th inning of play. Wenatchee on top 6-1. You're watching Applesox baseball on the NCWLIFE channel.
At Kennedy Group, we understand that buying and selling is more than a transaction, and it's more than just a house. This is where you will gather with friends and family, and where a lifetime of memories will be made. But buying a home is more than memories. Oftentimes, it's your biggest financial decision. The agents at Kennedy Group understand this and provide real estate advice based on your goals and dreams. Call us today, and let's find your happy place.
For over 35 years, the Sangster family has been not only representing GMC, but the entire community.
As one of the few family-owned dealerships in Washington, you can count on our personal integrity, which has spanned over 3 generations, to ensure your satisfaction.
Sangster Motors stands behind everything we sell, from GMC professional-grade products and service from a professional-grade dealership.
Remember, caring about your family is what brings you back to ours.
Bottom of the order, do it for Kamloops here in the 4th inning in a 6-1 ball game. Wenatchee on top of the Northpaws. Brennan Burke, Anthony Sedekasi, and Ethan Kadama do up here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Our baseball game broadcast here brought to you in part by Global Car Care. Your vehicle is their #1 priority. Diesels and European cars are their specialty. Pickup and drop-off available too. Stop by the website at globalcarcare.net. Hello to anybody from north of the border that might be watching here tonight. And boy, a lot of Canada's on fire. Really just, it's early in the season for all these forest fires. We had one up at Tumwater last night.
Yeah.
There's one over in Clay Elum that's still burning. Had a couple in Grant County yesterday that they jumped on quickly and knocked them out. So good to hear about that. But it is going to be a long fire season.
Yeah.
I'm afraid. So here we go to the top of the 4th inning. Karsten Swim has had an interesting night so far. 1 run on 5 hits heading into this frame. He's got 6 strikeouts. As Swim in his last appearance had 9 Ks, so he's not a stranger to the forward or backward K, and he'll start it off here with a strike to Brendan Burke.
Yeah, and the one thing when a pitcher strikes out a lot of guys, they're going to get their pitch count up, which is something that he's going to need to try and learn to keep down a little bit, because he's already at 62 pitches through the first 3 innings.
Wow.
And so, you know, I would say that he's on a pitch count here of upper 80s, maybe 90, maybe 100, but I would doubt that he's going to get up to 100. So I would think that we'd be seeing somebody else coming in here in the next inning or 2.
0-2 pitch misses away. Tried to get Burke to swing at that one outside. Burke, by the way, 1 for 1 with a double down the line in his first at bat back in the 2nd. A 1-2 pitch on the way, swung on and hit off of the catcher, and that'll go to the backstop, and the count remains at 1-2 strikes. Again, these 2 teams will play tomorrow night here at 6:35 at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. And then Port Angeles comes to town. The lefties will be here on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We will have the broadcast on Friday to start that series here on the NCWLIFE channel. The 1-2 pitch again is just outside for ball 2.
Yeah, he was asking for it to be up and away and delivered it there, but it's just out of the strike zone trying to get him to fish.
Nibble.
Yep.
Yeah, nibbling is Mr. Sweem. The 2-2 pitch from the lefty is on the way and swung on it, hit hard but foul. That was a hefty fastball.
That was. Yeah, that's where I would like to see that the TrackMan.
Yeah, right. See how fast that pitch was delivered. Yeah, we were talking about that. They've got TrackMan here at the ballpark. It shows a lot of different things. Well, they use that in Major League Baseball, don't they?
They do, yes.
So that's how you get the strike square that you see on the screen.
And the velocity of the pitch.
The velocity of the pitch, the swing angle and the swing velocity, exit velocity, all that fun stuff. 2-2 pitch to Brennan Burke on the way. Quite a battle to start off this 4th inning, and this pitch misses away for a ball. So like you said, that's a lot of pitches to this first batter. Wind blowing left to right here at the ballpark, or in from the left, if you will. Kind of a northwest breeze giving us cooler temperatures, thankfully, for those folks here in the Wenatchee Valley. This pitch is a low ball 4.
Now back, third baseman, Anthony Senecassi.
So that is the, second walk of the night for Karsten Sweem. Leadoff walk here in the 4th. And we talked about how this has been a delicate balance in the ball game so far. Kamloops with 1 run in the first 3 innings. We're in the 4th now. They have left 5 men aboard. They had the bases loaded in the first inning and didn't count them in. And now a leadoff walk here, and Senecassi will take the first pitch outside for a ball. 1-0 the count. And I see somebody stretching down to the bullpen for the Applesox, but nobody throwing as of yet. The 1-0 pitch swung on and fouled at the plate, and the count even now to Senecassi at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, as I was mentioning, his pitch count, when I say he's got a pitch count on him, oftentimes the college that they're playing at will set a pitch count for these guys. One person that was super important for the Applesox last year that didn't have a pitch count was Quincy Vassar, and that was because he was at the end of his career, so he could throw 175 pitches if he wanted to.
You know, in looking at Quincy, who is the pitching coach now for the Applesox, I was looking at him prior to the ball game. He looks like he could still easily just come out here and put the uniform on and pitch.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about that, and maybe that's a question for Mitch Darlington. So you got a non-league game. You get a lead. Do you bring your pitching coach in? Pitch here swung on and missed. Gone down on the strikes for the 7th time of the ball game. Karsten Sweem gets a strikeout. So that's the first out here of the 4th, and that'll bring up Ethan Kadama.
7th time in just over 3 innings. That's a lot of strikeouts.
Yeah, your walk to strikeout ratio is pretty good if you're Karsten Sweem. Gonzaga coaching staff are probably keeping close eyes on Sweem here in the summertime for the Applesox, and this bender is across the knees for a strike. 0-1 to Kadama. Popped in foul territory on a fantastic play by KP over at third base in foul territory on a head-first slide almost into that protective screen in front of the dugout.
Yeah, that was on a bunt attempt.
This pitch is popped, or it's hit off the end of the bat. That will hurt. I don't care who you are. 0-2 the count to Kadama here.
Yeah, it looks like he's getting overpowered at the plate right now, doesn't it?
Yeah. (0-2) count to Kadama, and the pitch by Sweem on the way is in the dirt outside. Try to get him to fish after that one. And yes, good block by Henkel. First time to see Mr. Henkel catch this season for the Applesox. Doing a good job back there behind the plate. 1-2 the count to Kadama with a runner at first base. And the pitch swung on and fouled away, and the count stays at 1-2 strikes. But also, you know, with the approach by Kamloops here, aggressive at the plate, they're also fouling a lot off. So that's also going to get your pitch count up a little bit.
Yeah, he's I wouldn't say overpowering to everybody here, but he is delivering a lot of strikes and has, yeah, I was going to say, he's got really good stuff, and so they're able to foul it off. But again, they've had 2 balls that were hit decently well today. Everything else has been not hit real firm.
Back to the top of the order after a strikeout looking by Kadama for Elijah Clayton. Speaking of striking out, he has struck out twice so far in the game. Pitch on the way is a fastball, a little high for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Elijah Clayton out of UC Berkeley. Batting .235 coming into the game tonight for the Kamloops Northpaws. Pitch here is again a little bit high, I guess. Count goes to 2-0 on Clayton. Karsten Sweem pitching from the stretch, and the pitch here high and inside. That was definitely high, and the count goes to 3-0. We do have a right-hander now warming up down to the bullpen for the Applesox. So this could be it for Karsten Sweem here. 3-0 count to Clayton. Pitch on the way is in there for a strike, and the count goes to 3-1. It's taken me a few innings to get used to this umpire's strike call.
Yes.
I think I have it now. Jacob Fisher behind the plates. Hudson Boucher out there on the base paths. And 3-1 pitch from Karsten Sweem. Swung on and missed.
All of them have a different matter of calling a strike, but I think my favorite is the Savannah Bananas umpire.
Oh, yeah.
He's the dancing umpire. If you haven't ever seen it, you should go look it up, because it is
ESPN is now showing Savannah Banana baseball on the channel now. 3-2 pitch, a runner goes, pitch is inside for ball 4.
That has so much excitement in it. If a fan catches a foul ball, the batter's out.
I like that.
And then there's rules of you have to do trick plays and stuff. So the outfielders are doing backflips and catching fly balls, and I mean it is phenomenal, the athleticism of those people, and they're not good enough to play professional baseball anymore, like true minor league baseball.
It kind of makes you go, huh? Really?
The guy that gets out there on stilts.
Some of the stuff they do is outstanding. Applesox baseball here on the NCWLIFE channel, brought to you by Harvest Valley Pest Control. Living healthy, local, and pest-free, you can rest assured Harvest Valley Pest Control uses kid and pet-safe material around your home or office. Call Harvest Valley Pest Control today for your free estimate at 509-423-2207. That's 423-2207. By the way, if you got those underground pests that are causing problems with your lawn, you're like, what is going on out there? Harvest Valley Pest Control can take care of that too. Connor Clark now steps up after a meeting on the mound with pitching coach Quincy Vassar. Comes out and says, look, you got a 6-1 lead, just get it done here. Pitch on the way, swung on and fouled back, and the count 0-1 to Connor Clark.
So going back to what the conversation earlier about him mixing up his looks. So if you watch Carson's head here, he'll look back and he'll look back once, twice, 3 times. And as a runner, what you're trying to do is you're trying to get a feel of what he's going to be doing. Because
tempo.
Yes.
This pitch misses inside for ball 1. 1-1 to Connor Clark.
Ed Neggs actually taught me this when I was playing for the Packers. It was called UCLA. So you look at it, and he would be a 1UC. So that's going to be a 1U or a 1C. And so if he continues to have that rhythm, then as he looks away from you, you can start getting a controlled steal going on.
Sure. But Karsten seems like he's kind of changing that up well.
Yes.
Up to this point. 1-2 the count. Karsten Sweem, by the way, looking for strikeout number 9 here in 4 innings. The lefty's delivery. Just a bit outside for ball 2. 2-2 the count. And I got to think this is it for Karsten Sweem if he can get this final out here. Drew Schmidt on deck, waiting for a chance here for Kamloops in a 6-1 ball game. 2 runners aboard, 2 down here in the 4th. The 2-2 pitch on the way, high and inside for ball 3.
Yeah, I have him for 91 pitches, so this is definitely his Definitely his last inning and more than likely his last batter, regardless.
3-2 pitch from Karsten Sweem, trying to shut it down right now. The runners go. The pitch is swung on and fouled at the plate, and the count stays at 3-2. The runners have to retreat their steps. Applesox Baseball brought to you by Highlander Golf Course and Grill. Plan your next tournament and event today. Call the Pro Shop. Schedule your time on the Full Swing S4 widescreen golf simulator, or just go golf. 884-4653. That's 519-884-4653. Pitch again is ball 4.
Now batting, the shortstop, Drew Schmidt.
And out of the dugout comes Mitch Darlington. So that is the game for Karsten Sweem. Right now, 1 run in. He does have 8 strikeouts tonight, but has also walked the bases loaded. We will see who comes in when we come back after the 60-second timeout. You're watching West Coast League Baseball on the NCWLIFE channel.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chase on the other side. You can use this lifetime warranty.
Great, I want that one. I like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Welcome back once again. A new pitcher in the ballgame here for the Wenatchee Applesox. Wearing number 32 is Jace Taylor, a 6'5", 215-pound senior from LC State, originally from Cornville, Arizona. There's a town I had not heard of in Arizona, but there's a lot of little towns in AZ.
Yeah, there is. LC State, that's a
baseball mecca.
Very good baseball school.
Yes, it is.
A lot of times there's kids that will go to a Division I school that they will either not play for their school and then transfer to LC State, and or if they're not eligible to get into a D1 school because of grades, they'll end up finding themselves at LC State too. But it's not very often because of lack of talent when they find themselves down there. That's good baseball.
Jace Taylor making his 5th appearance of the season for the Applesox with a 3.60 earned run average. We'll take over with the bases jammed here. And Drew Schmidt at the plate. First pitch. Right down the middle for a strike. And Coach, you love that, don't you?
Yes, first pitch strike.
And a very deliberate pitch here by Jace Taylor. He is like slow, 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 and bam, here it comes.
Yes.
Pitch on the way. Swung on and grounded to the left side, and that's going to go off the third baseman's glove and going to go trickling into foul territory. Everybody's running, everybody's scoring here. Here comes the throw home, and it is going to be in time.
Got him.
They got him.
Yeah.
So 2-run score. The third attempt is thrown out. And so give Schmidt a couple of RBIs on the double. That was a tough play for KP over there at third base. Trying to backhand the ball and went just off his glove down in foul territory. So Burke comes around to score and Clayton comes around to score. So 3 runs on the board here for Kamloops, and Connor Clark is gunned down at the plate. So that will do it here for Kamloops in the 4th. We'll head to the bottom of in a 6-3 ball game. Applesox are not done yet. We'll come back with more right after this on the NCWLIFE channel.
Tacos Chava has something new. Customers at Tacos Chava say it's the best Mexican food around. Nachos, enchiladas, tortas, ensaladas, and introducing camarones in many styles. You'll love the fresh salsa bar with so much selection. Are you ready for tacos, Chava? Find them at 2 great locations, the Wenatchee Valley Mall and Eniat. Tacos Chava, tan delicioso.
Hey man, how's your arm?
Getting better, actually, thanks.
Did they give you anything for pain after surgery? Because I think I may have some left over.
Nah, that's all right, man. Actually, me and my doctor talked about not sharing prescriptions, and that ibuprofen's a good option for me. The risk of addiction, it's not worth it.
Makes sense.
Take the next step. Don't share your prescriptions and talk to your friends about the dangers of opioids.
184.
Well, here we go to the 4th bottom of, and the Applesox have a little more close contest on their hands right now, as it is a 6-3 ball game. So we're a long way from being done here, that's for sure. So we head to the 4th, and I believe Henry Hinkle will be the leadoff man, as Quincy Marlborough was the last batter in that 3rd inning. What did Quincy do in that last at bat?
He went 6-4.
Okay, thank you.
Number 15.
You know, on that last play there, it appeared to me like he had tagged him in the head as he was
pitch swung on the grounded to the left side, shortstop over to his right, long throw across, and it is in time for the out. Drew Schmidt, deep in the hole, is able to get that ball and then reverse directions with the throw. That was impressive.
Now batting, the shortstop.
But as you were saying.
Yeah, it appeared to me, but again, I don't have a great view of it here, but it appeared to me like he tagged him in the head, but the Cardinals' rule is don't go back for another tag if it's a questionable call. And our catcher went back to tag him, and that's
again.
what gave the coaches reason to say, hey, wait a second, he missed the tag, obviously, or he wouldn't have gone back.
Swinging a miss here by Cade Martinez with 1 out, nobody aboard. 0-2 the count on Cade. Cade 1 for 2 tonight with a 2-run double back in the 2nd. He struck out his first plate appearance. Takes this for a ball. 1-2 to count to Cade out of the University of California, San Diego. 1-2 pitch swung on and fouled away. Cade, you know, Wenatchee, San Diego, they're the same.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, pretty much. The last couple days have probably been warmer here than San Diego.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Isn't it 80 degrees every day there?
Every day. 1-2 pitch on the way, swung on and fouled back, and the count stays at a ball and 2 strikes. So Cade staying alive. That ball, I guess, hit the pine tree behind the plate here and then bounced back into the crowd, and the guy caught it.
Off the bleachers.
Yeah, that's nice. Pitch swung on. Here's another foul ball on the first base side. This caught the top of the netting behind home plate here, so the count remains at a ball and 2 strikes.
It's a good at-bat right here.
Tyler Straley in his 3rd inning of relief here for Kamloops. He's done a pretty good job.
Very good.
To shut down the Wenatchee spigot. Another swing and a foul back by Cade. So he's missing, but not by much.
You're right.
He's got it timed pretty well.
4 foul balls in a row here.
Yeah. So if it bounces with the Savannah Bananas and the fan catches it, does that count?
I don't believe so. I think it has to be caught in the air.
Soft line out to the second baseman here by Martinez. So now 2 down.
Number 9, Brady Bean.
And as you loudly hear above my head, Brady Bean coming to the plate. Brady's 0 for 2 tonight. Lined out to center and flew out to right in his 2 plate appearances so far. Brady last night was 1 for 3 with an RBI and a run.
Well, and the one thing on a walk, they have to throw the ball around the horn, and the hitter gets to run until he feels like he should stop. So they have to throw it to every position. So it goes catcher to, if they want to go first base, right field, center field, left field, then all the way back to the pitcher, whatever it is, the runner gets to run until he's...
Yeah, now a worldwide tour by the Savannah Bananas.
Yeah.
The 2-0 pitch swung on and missed. Count goes to 2-1 on Mr. Bean.
so they no longer call that a walk. I guess it's a jog or a run, or what do you call it?
Yeah, it's a saunter. 2-1 count to Brady Bean here with 2 outs in the 4th inning. Pitch on the way, swung on and hit hard, but straight up in the air, and the shortstop calling for it. As you can hear him out there, Drew Schmidt will make the squeeze, and that'll do it for Wenatchee. As they're retired in order here in the 4th to the 5th we go. It's a 6-3 ball game. Don't go away. Good one here on the NCWLIFE channel.
For the ketchup and mustard race, presented by Town Square.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether.
We provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Applefield, Jared Hall, and Kieran Gaffney do up here in the 5th inning for Kamloops, who have taken a 6-0 ball game and made it 6-3 in the last couple of frames. As we head to the top of the 5th, our broadcast here on the NCWLIFE channel brought to you by Kennedy Real Estate Group. They're more than selling houses, they're building communities. Buying or selling, call Kennedy Real Estate Group. They're online at kennedygroup.com. That's KENADY group.com. Kalen Applefield, couple of strikeouts for him tonight, looking to get on the board offensively. Meanwhile, Jace Taylor continues to pitch for the Applesox. The first pitch swung on and look out. That hit the top of the padding and then goes into the dugout.
Get off that kid's hand over there. Doesn't look like he's feeling very good.
0-1 to count. Yeah, that had some steam on it, that's for sure.
Oh, nice change up there.
Swing and a miss on that one. Hey, not often after the ketchup and mustard derby that you have a chance to see your favorite condiment come walking through the stands here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. You got mustard and ketchup walking through the stadium right now. Who won that? Was it ketchup?
That was ketchup.
It was
yes.
ketchup. Okay.
Oh, man,
so, hot dog.
Manny wins it.
Hot dog. What do you prefer? Are you a ketchup and mustard guy?
Well, I've had some hot dogs at some sporting events. The best hot dog I think I can ever say I've had is at Wrigley Field.
Okay.
And they have like little peppers and they load it up. So ketchup, mustard, relish, peppers.
Oh, everything.
The whole kit and caboodle.
Okay. This pitch misses away for ball 3. So he's ahead of the count 0-2. And now it's run full to Kalen Applefield at 3-2.
Go, JT.
So if I'm going to have a hot dog at home or anywhere else, it's got to have ketchup, mustard, and relish.
Okay. All right. Swing and a miss. Strikeout for Jace Taylor in relief. His first strikeout. 1 out here in the 5th for Kamloops, and that brings up Jared Hall. Let's talk to the coaching staff before the ball game here for Kamloops. Talking with Jack Slominski, their pitching coach. I said, I was asking about, first of all, the strange thing where they had a home-and-home series against Kelowna last weekend. He says, yeah, that's kind of how it works. And I said, you guys, the home park is Norbrock Stadium, right? He goes, yeah. He says, I said, love that stadium. I love that stadium. Went up with the Applesox a couple of different years early on when Ed Nags was just taking over the program. And the Applesox played in the Kamloops International Baseball Tournament, which was interesting. They'd play a few weeks here back then it was the PIL, but it was a wood bat league. And then they go up for that tournament, and it was an aluminum bat tournament.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was interesting. Pitch all the way here is outside.
So what's your condiment of choice on a hot dog?
I judge a hot dog by itself.
Ooh.
So a lot of times I'll just eat the hot dog, the bun, that's it. But at home, this pitch is in there for a strike, and the count goes to 3-1 on Jared Hall. At home, I will put cheese and mustard.
Cheese and
Shredded cheese and mustard. Yeah. Pitch here is a little outside for a ball, so a strikeout, then a walk by Mr. Taylor. And that'll bring up Kieran Gaffney.
Kieran Gaffney.
So close the books on Karsten Sweem, by the way. Goes 3 2/3, allowed 3 runs on 5 hits. I think only one of those runs was earned. Is that correct?
No, all of the last. Well, no, because there was an error. That was the error, yeah.
2
so
runs
that
scored on the
count
error. So just one of the 3. Here's a double play chance. And, ball thrown a little bit low, and Kobe Holmdahl couldn't dig it out over the bag at first. You can't assume a double play, so that'll just be a fielder's choice.
Brendan Early.
Yeah, you would like to assume a double play as a pitcher, but definitely cannot do that. Now, there's no errors on that either because he didn't advance. Now, had the ball got past, they would have called that an error on the throw, which caused him to advance.
Brendan Burke steps up now for Kamloops, and the pitch on the way with 2 outs here. There's a curveball missing outside for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Yeah, but like I go to Costco. Costco's the best deal in town. Anywhere you go. $1.50 for a giant hot dog.
Yes.
And a soda. Pitch here is across. No, inside for ball 2.
Well, and that's what their CEO said, is they'll do everything that they possibly can to keep that to $1.50.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah.
I thought during COVID for sure that it was going to go up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we go to Maui periodically, and we'll stop at Costco on the way because we rent the runner from first goes, and the pitch is across the throw down to second base, not nearly in time, so a stolen base here.
Good exchange by Hinkle on that. He just had no chance.
Yeah, that was stolen on the pitcher, Taylor. Count, well, he called that a ball, believe it or not. I thought that was a strike, but no, 3-0 the count here to Burke. With first base open, 2 outs in the inning. 6-3 ball games. Wenatchee on top of Kamloops. And the 3-0 pitch by Jace Taylor is a strike. But we'll stop at Costco after we get off the plane in Maui. And before we get to our condo that we rent, we go to Costco, we get all the groceries we need for the week, and we get a hot dog and a soda.
That's super smart.
3-1 pitch on the way is strike 2 call. He is very deliberate in his pitch, but man, does it come with a lot of oomph.
Yeah.
3-2 the count to Brendan Burke. Runner at second is Kieran Gaffney. 2 outs in the inning for the Northpaws. This pitch swung on, popped up foul, and that is going to get out of play. Look out, our camera people down there. Count stays at 3-2. Kids help out here at the ballpark. Now, it used to be that you got a candy bar if you brought that back to the
candy bar or a free ticket to a game.
Free ticket to a game, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's still the case or not.
Yeah, I haven't seen him returning them. So
3-2 pitch swung on a grounded to the second baseman. Waiting on it is Bates. He'll throw to first in time for the out. That's, I think, first defensive play for the new guy.
I think so.
Here in the game. So 1 man left aboard, and we'll head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Wenatchee on top 6-3. You're watching Applesox baseball on the NCWLIFE channel.
You trust the same doctor for your health and the same dentist for your smile. Trust Global Car Care to keep your vehicle running strong. We track your car's history so it gets the right care at the right time. With our 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on parts and labor, you'll drive away with confidence. Global Car Care, your automotive experts. We service all makes and models, but specialize in Sprinter vans, Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen, and BMW. Call or visit us today.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Call Alpine Air Heating and Cooling today. Your comfort is their priority.
All right, the Applesox here in the fourth will bring up their third baseman, their DH, and their second baseman. And I've been working on the pronunciation all night long. Kyle Panganiban.
It's a different pronunciation again.
Panganiban.
I think you're 0 for 32.
Panganiban. Panganiban. That's it.
Okay. Panganiban.
Panganiban.
Okay.
Yes. So Kyle Panganiban
fouled off.
Is 0 for 1. Yeah. Is 0 for 2 tonight with a line out and a fly out. I apologize, Kyle. I'll be better. I promise. I'm going to work on that. I'm going to go home tonight, and I'm just going to put it up on the wall in my office and just say it over and over.
Panganiban.
Panganiban. That's what I said.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Kyle's coming up. KP. And the first pitch to him by Tyler Straley is swung on a hit hard right to the third baseman on 2 hops, and Stedicast is going to throw him out. Stedicassi with a good play over there at third.
Now batting.
1 out for the Applesox, brings up Noah Fields.
25, Noah Fields.
You know, the Applesox were pretty, I'll say, patient.
Yeah.
With the starting pitcher heard tonight, Herdeval.
Yeah,
but with
especially
Straley, they're jumping right on it.
Yeah. In that second inning, we were especially patient. You know, we started off having 6 straight balls, and then he finally threw a strike, and then we got a base hit on the next 3 pitches. So
0-1 to count here to Noah Fields, who's 0 for 1 tonight with a fly out to right field in his last at bat. He walked and scored to start off that 6-run second inning for the Applesox. It would be interesting if that stays where it is for Wenatchee offensively, because they scored 4 runs in the third last night and 6 runs in the second here. This pitch hit in the gap. That's going to get down for a base hit by Noah Fields. Nice job, Noah.
Now batting.
1 on, 1 out for the Applesox, brings up Camden Bates. How about Camden Bates? Up out of Arizona State University, just got here, just found a uniform, put it on, put him in the lineup, and he's 2 for 2 tonight with a run.
That's a good day.
That's a good day. He'll step up for the 3rd time here tonight and face Tyler Straley, and the first pitch to him, he is a strike. 0-1 to count to Camden Bates. This will be the 2nd time he'll see Mr. Straley on the mound. Yeah, the pitch on the way. Ooh, look out. Came high and inside at him, and the count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike.
2 balls.
Oh, it's 2 balls. Excuse me. 2 and the count. There we go. Bates back in and ready. The 2-0 pitch to him is a sidearm delivery, and that's in there for a strike. See how it's just a little bit ahead of where we are. Catch you up to date as soon as I refresh my screen here for West Coast League Baseball tonight. 2-1, throw over to first base, not nearly in time. Of course, we're watching the Bellingham Bells, and they are spanking Bend right now. Top of the 6th inning. It's 8-0 in that one. So Wenatchee and Bellingham, they lined up for the North Division title last year. This pitch swung on and fouled away, and this is going to find the pine tree behind home plate. And the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Bellingham leading at 8-0 at home tonight at Joe Martin Field. Victoria on top of Nanaimo on the road in the top of the 5th, 9-2. A lot of offense around the West Coast League tonight. Raptors in Ridgefield leading Yakima Valley 4-0. Pippin's off to a rocky start. 2-2 pitch here, swung on and fouled away, and that's heading for the lights, and it did hit the lights. I don't see any shards of glass or the natural with the cascade of pieces.
You know how we've talked about the mascots of a lot of the teams in the north are.
Pitch here, swung on and hit the gap between right and center, and tracking it down to center fielder Ethan Kadama for the out.
Fruits and vegetables. Do you know what the Ridgefield High School mascot is?
They're the Spudders, aren't they?
The Spudders, yeah. Like potatoes.
Yeah. Yeah, Davenport has one of the best mascots in all of the state of Washington. Do you know what their mascot is?
I don't.
The Gorillas.
Oh, yes. Weippe, too.
Strike on the outside corner. Weippe, Idaho?
Yes, Weippe, Idaho Gorillas.
Are they the Gorillas, too?
Yeah.
How about that? Okay.
The only reason I know that is because my one of my high school history teachers, he went to Weippe.
Strike 2 called to Jack Barker here. Jack had an RBI single in the second and scored a run. Got a board on an error in the third. A couple of errors tonight for Kamloops. This pitch is just missing outside for ball 1. I thought Barker was going to get rung up there looking. 2 outs in the inning. Runner aboard for Wenatchee in a 6-3 contest. Applesox on top here in the bottom of the 5th. Pitch on the way. Swung on it, hit in the air opposite way. And that's going to stay foul.
Pitch got in on him pretty good.
Yeah, it did. Count stays at a ball and 2 strikes. Weippe. That's funny that you should bring up Weippe because my dad's best friend ever, he's passed away now, but my dad's best friend ever was from Weippe, Idaho. Pitch swung on and hit hard. That's going to be laced into right field for a base hit. That's hit so hard that having a hold at second. Moving up is Noah Field.
Now batting, the first baseman, Colby Homdahl.
Is that what you call a ringing single?
That was hit very hard.
Yes, it was. Barker aboard for the 3rd time tonight. And runners at first and second for the Applesox trying to get a little 2-out magic going here as Colby Homdahl steps up. And the pitch by Tyler Straley on the way is a strike on the outside corner. 0-1 the count. But yeah, he was originally Fred Bender. No, Fred Young. Excuse me, Fred Young.
Fred Young.
Yeah, Fred Young from Weippe, Idaho, was a cowboy and a logger. And I'd never. You couldn't tell me how to spell Weippe. I couldn't tell you how to spell Weippe if you told me to. Ground ball back to the pitcher, and that's going to do it for the Applesox here in the 5th. They got a couple of runners aboard on 2 hits. They leave 2 men. We will head to the 6th frame in a 6-3 contest. You're watching Applesox baseball on the NCWLIFE channel. Highlander Golf Course and Grill, located in East Wenatchee, offers terrific views and challenging play for golfers at every skill level. From the golf course to the grill, you don't need to be a member to dine in style and play golf too. Highlander's well-groomed fairways and greens keep it difficult, yet friendly for your regular rounds of golf or a new destination for you and your out-of-town friends. Contact the Highlander Pro Shop today to schedule your tee time, outing, or tournament. Open 7 days a week, where everyone is welcome to play and eat.
Oh, it's number 1.
Applesox baseball on the NCWLIFE channel, brought to you in part by Les Schwab. Having the right set of tires and wheels on your vehicle is just part of essential safety. Les Schwab takes your safety seriously. Stop by today. Also by Sangster Motors, family owned and operated, home of the all-new electric Hummer pickup and SUV. To the bottom or top of the 6th we go. Bottom of the order due up here for the Kamloops Northpaws. It's Anthony Sedekassi, Ethan Kadama, and then back to the top of the order for Elijah Clayton as Jace Taylor continues to throw here for the Applesox as we head to the 6th frame. 3 2/3 for Karsten Swim tonight. 5 hits, 3 runs, only 1 earned, 8 strikeouts, 3 walks. Jace Taylor now working in his 3rd inning of relief here for the Wenatchee Applesox. First pitch is a fastball low and away for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Anthony Sedekassi. The 3rd baseman is 0 for the night so far with a ground out to 3rd and a strikeout. 1-0 pitch from Taylor.
That's a nice curveball right there.
That curveball misses outside according to our home plate umpire. 2-0 the count. We'll be back here again on Friday nights with Port Angeles in town. The Lefties taking on the Applesox in the first 3 games. We'll have our pregame at 6:30 right here on the NCWLIFE channel. Boy, this pitch misses closely. 3-0 the count.
There's no argument by Hinkle there, so that looked pretty good to me.
Pitch on the way. This one's across but low for ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk. And second inning, no. I thought maybe the leadoff man got aboard in the 5th too, but that was not the case. It was the case back of the 4th, and it came around to hurt the Applesox on a 2-run error on the third baseman. That made it a 6-3 ball game. That's where we've been since. Now the leadoff man aboard, Sedekasi, and Ethan Kadama steps up. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a pop in foul territory. Pitch here is a strike finally, called by our home plate umpire. 0-1 the count to Kadama.
Which ironically was a bunt situation, which
could be here again.
Could be
right?
here, yeah.
In a 3-run ball game, you still got lots of outs to get here. The 0-1 pitch is a turnaround move and got him. How about that move by Jace Taylor?
He was taking that extra little hop over there at first base. A little premature.
So caught stealing. 1-3, Anthony Sedekasi.
That helps.
That helps a lot. 1 out. Nobody aboard now. And the 0-1 pitch to Kadama is a strike. I think if the fans get a little bit more rambunctious here on some of those close calls, seems to influence our umpire.
It does.
Just, I mean, maybe I'm just, I'm reading it probably.
You always have to yell, got him.
And he got him there on a pitch out and away. So a strikeout here for Jace Taylor.
Man, we have had a ton of strikeouts.
Now batting, the second baseman, Elijah Clayton.
That's a second strikeout for Taylor in relief. That gives the Applesox pitching staff 10 Ks on the night. And back to the top of the order for Elijah Clayton.
Yeah, we've got a hat trick, and by Applefield, he's had 3 strikeouts.
Yeah.
Clayton's had 2, and Kieran Gaffney's had 2. So hopefully we can get a couple more hat tricks or a golden sombrero here. That'd be nice.
0-1 or 1-0 the count to Clark. This pitch swung on a hit hard. That's going to get into left center field for a base hit. So a 2-out single for Clayton. If you're going to give up a base hit, you'd love to do it. 2 outs, nobody on.
Yeah,
doesn't hurt you.
It's a lot better than the guy at first base that you weren't able to pick off.
Right. Connor Clark now steps up. Connor is 1 for 1 in the game. Has walked twice. So Clark batting .400 coming in. The sophomore from the University of Texas, Tyler, has done himself well and the team well in that number 2 batting spot. Tossed to the bag at first. The ball got away from the first baseman and goes into the screen. Now, there's the question for you, Coach. With that new screen that's in front of the dugouts, it hits the screen. Is it in play or does it go out of play at that point?
It's in play, and there's probably an imaginary line that goes from the end of the padding here straight to the wall. But if anything bounces off of that, then it's going to be live. That's my assumption. Now, every field will have their own rules.
Right.
So.
Right. Well, it doesn't come to hurt the Applesox because Connor Clark grounds out to the shortstop, Cade Martinez. He'll throw in time for the out. So we'll head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Wenatchee still on top 6-3. You're watching West Coast League Baseball on the NCWLIFE channel.
Apple Valley Honda is bringing the future of driving to you. Introducing the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue EV. Say goodbye to gas stations and hello to a whisper-quiet ride and zero emissions. The wait is over. Finally, a local option for a quality EV from a brand with a track record of exceptional quality and reliability. Experience the Honda Prologue EV for yourself at family-owned Apple Valley Honda. Stay close to home and visit us at Apple Valley Honda today for the life you live.
The agents of Kennedy Real Estate Group are committed to providing the ideal client experience. We believe in the power of relationships. Why? Because we don't just work here, we live here. From the nonprofits we serve, the parks where we play, and the local businesses we support, our team understands the value of living in the Wenatchee Valley. Let's begin your real estate story.
Applesox baseball on the NCWLIFE channel, brought to you in part by Save Mart. Shop smart, shop local, serving the Wenatchee Valley since 1962. Also by Tacos Chava. You love Tacos Chava in East Wenatchee. Let them cater your next event. Maybe a wedding coming up this summer. Tacos Chava, there you go. You can find them on Facebook by searching Tacos Chava East Wenatchee. Chava spelled C-H-A-V-A. Good food, by the way. If you haven't been to their location in the mall, it's fantastic stuff. Quincy Marlboro, Henry Hinkle, and Cade Martinez, number 8, 9, and 1, due up for the Applesox here in the 6th inning of play. And the first pitch bounces in for a ball. 1-0 the count.
Bounced off the umpire there. Yeah, the ground rules, they can be interesting at different places that you go. Like, there's some, if it hits a painted area, then it's going to be dead. If it hits off of a screen, it could be live. Here, if it hits off the black net that we have going to the end of the dugout, that is above the dugout, that would be a dead ball. But anything that is this side of, I would assume, our fence that was just put in, anything that hits there is going to be live.
Well, and the interesting thing, too, is baseball stadiums around the country, around the world, basically, in here, in the infield, pitch is a check swing. He went around on the appeals as the first base umpire. Quincy Marlboro gone swinging, 1 out here in the 6th inning. But around the bases, every ballpark is exactly the same. Inside foul territory.
Yes.
Outside of foul territory can
Nothing
be completely different.
Yes.
And then, of course, the outfield and the distance to the outfield wall and everything else is different in every single ballpark you go to.
Yeah. That's why, you know, I enjoy going to Major League ballparks because they're so different. Now, I'm a baseball fan, too, so that helps. But, but just seeing the beauty in each and every individual field.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody asked me the other day, what was my favorite field that I've ever been to? And it's too difficult to say. You know, you can say
it's like
Wrigley
saying,
and
pick your favorite kid, right?
Yeah.
Camden or Dylan?
Yeah.
Who's it going to be, Coach?
Depends on the day.
This pitch swung on, hits on a hop right back to the pitcher. Good play by Straley to field his position there. 1-3 on the putout. 2 outs for the Applesox. Back to the top of the order for Cade Martinez. So you went to Fenway Park, right?
Yeah.
On your trip across the country here a few years ago?
Yeah.
And how was Fenway?
Fenway was amazing.
Was it? I've heard people that have been there in person, and of course, you know, for the rest of us, we only see it on TV. This pitch high and inside. Look out, Cade Martinez. 1-0 the count. I've heard people that have gone there, and if you come in, you know, from behind home plate and you look at it, you go, oh my God, that left wall is so close.
It is. It is. And, you know, we sat down the left field line right next to the Green Monster. So it was really, really a cool place to go watch a game. And 7th inning stretch, you know, you go to Wrigley Field, they sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game, and they have Harry Carey that comes up on the screen because he's no longer with us. And cool. But at Boston, they sing Sweet Caroline.
Oh, okay.
And the whole entire crowd sings along with it. It's pretty cool.
Fly ball to center field here off of Martinez's bat. Easy play out there for Drew Schmidt. And I'll tell you, since the 6-run 2nd inning, the Kamloops Northpaws have shut the Applesox offense down. We will head to the 7th inning of play here at the ballpark. The fans will stretch and sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game. We will take a stretch as well. And we'll come back with the 7th inning of our, wait. Hold on. That's the 6th. We're not going to stretch yet. I'm a little ahead. We have the top of the 7th coming up. See, I was all ready to stretch because I was all ready to sing. We'll do that coming up next here on the NCWLIFE channel.
A new video game, a movie, dinner with friends. There are a lot of things worth saving up for. Vapes aren't cheap, and buying pods over and over can stop you from affording things you want more. When it comes to your money, choose what matters. Choose you.
When life gets stressful, jumping into your passions can help you find your calm.
Avoid vapes, which contain nicotine and can make feelings of anxiety and depression worse. When it comes to your mental health, choose what matters. Choose you.
You're watching Applesox baseball here on the NCWLIFE channel, your local TV station, along with Brandon Schmidt and Eric Granstrom with you. Top of the 7th in a 6-3 game. Applesox on top. Due up here in the 7th for Kamloops. It's Drew Schmidt, Kalen Applefield, and Jared Hall. Catch you up to date on the rest of the scores. Well, Ben's trying to come back in Bellingham. Bottom of the 6th now. 8-5 now. Bellingham still on top in that one. Victoria taking it to Nanaimo on the road tonight, 11-2. Ridgefield still leading Yakima Valley 4-1 in that one. That's in the bottom of the 6th. This pitch swung on and hit hard past the third baseman, diving at it. And a base hit, Coach?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, I'm giving that a base hit. Now, that's 3 balls that have been hit right there. As a third baseman, I'm going to be backing myself up a little bit because he's hit 3 hard balls right to that same spot.
Yeah.
So give yourself a little bit more space. 3-hitter, he's not going to be bunting more than likely as a leadoff guy. As a leadoff guy in the inning, he probably not going to be bunting there. So
Kalen Applefield will take the first pitch inside to him. He's got 3 strikeouts on the night. As Brandon mentioned here last inning, get the golden sombrero if he gets one more strikeout here. Tossed to the bag at first, not in time by Jace Taylor. We do have some activity down at the bullpen for the Applesox in a 6-3 contest here. It's been an adventure for the pitching staff. They've done well striking a bunch of bodies out here, 10 strikeouts in the ballgame. But Kamloops has had base runners just about every single inning. In fact, they have.
Yeah.
Every single frame, Kamloops has had base runners, and they do again here with a leadoff base hit. 1-0 pitch by Taylor on the way to Applefield. Is a fastball outside for ball 2. Strikeout swinging in the first, looking in the third, and swinging in the 5th for Applefield so far. Taylor ready. And the pitch. Another fastball, but just a little bit high. 3-0. I think Mitch Darlington, if he's got somebody warmed up, will be quick with the hook here.
Yeah, I see the attendant down there. I don't know who that attendant may be. Somebody in a sweatshirt's tipping the hat saying, hey, he's good to go. If you need him to come in, let's go. That being said, Kamloops has somebody up in the bullpen too.
Okay, all right. Tight ball game here, 6-3. And Kamloops threatening here in the 7th. A toss to the bag at first, not in time by Taylor. He did pick off a runner in the 6th. He's got a pretty good move out there on the mound for the Applesox. 3-1 the count to Kalen Applefield. From the left-handed batter's box. Pitch again is swung on and fouled into the glove of the catcher. 3-2 the count. You know, that's not easy to do, by the way, and Henkel's done that quite a bit tonight, catching those foul balls on a swing.
Yes, he has. It's amazing how easy they make it look. I tell you, I tried to catch like once in my life, and every time the pitch came in, I closed my eyes. He got him. Boy. I might get help on that one. I didn't know if his left hand got in there or not.
But very, very close on the play at first base on a pickoff move by Jace Taylor.
He had him jumping again, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Pitch on the way, runner goes. It swung on and fouled back.
He's got such, like you've talked about, the delivery is so deliberate, slow.
Yeah.
High
slow.
leg kick, which.
If you're going to do that, then you better have a good move to first base.
Yeah.
And do you expect another move there now?
Yeah, or a slide step here would be nice.
Yeah. 3-2 pitch again, runner goes, pitch is low, and ball 4.
Bummer.
So the tying run will come to the plate here for Kamloops in the 7th inning. Will we see a pitching change first? Yes, we will. With the pitching change made, we'll take a 60-second break on the broadcast. Sticky wicket here at the ballpark. 6-3 the score. Tying run come to the plate for the Northpaws. We're back after this on the NCWLIFE channel.
Welcome to the summer of good. Good people, good taste, good vibes, and good, well, everything. When you're ready for some old-fashioned good, Abby's is your place. We've been celebrating summers around the PNW for over 60 years. At Abby's, good is a legendary tradition. Here's a good-looking pizza, guaranteed to bring some summer smiles. And right now, it's on sale, so it's good for your wallet too. This giant is loaded with toppings and can feed up to 6 people. Order at abbys.com. Give us a call or just drop by. It's the summer of good, only at Abby's Legendary Pizza.
Get a great deal on making the most of every property. The Kubota commercial landscape lineup is built to do more. From the RTVX utility vehicle to the Z700 mower to the SVL track loader. When your reputation is on the line, you need equipment that doesn't let you down. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for 48 months, or save up to $4,000.
Trevor Young will take over on the mound for the Wenatchee Applesox as Wenatchee brings their third pitcher into the ball game. Trevor Young, 6'4", 180-pound sophomore from Everett Community College, originally from Bothell. And so far for Mr. Taylor on the season, making his third appearance. He's pitched 3 innings and has yet to give up a hit or a run. So 0 earned run average for the man taking over on the mound for the Wenatchee Applesox, Trevor Young.
He really reaches back to get a little bit extra on his fastball.
So Jace Taylor goes 2 1/3. He's responsible for the 2 men on the base pass right now. Gave up just 1 hit in his 2 1/3 innings worth of work. Also had, 3 strikeouts. So 11 strikeouts for the Applesox pitching staff here tonight. Taylor also had a couple of walks, so 5 walks given up here tonight for the Applesox pitching staff. So here we go. 2 aboard, nobody out. Top of the 7th in a 6-3 ball game. First pitch by Young after a check of the bag at second. On the way, and I'm squaring the bunt, which is a smart move here in a close ball game. He'll take it, Jared Hall for ball 1, 1-0 to count. Does he mean it, or was he just showing?
I would say he means it here.
Left-handed batter back in, the 1-0 pitch on the way to him. He'll not feign a bunt there and take ball 2.
That looked way too good.
Good job, Trevor.
I'd like to see where he thought that missed, because from my vantage point, it looked pretty good.
Pitch on the way. He squares the bunt again. He'll take strike 1. 2-1 to count to Jared Hall. He has a base hit to his credit tonight and a walk in his 2 plate appearances. Holmdahl at first base, in on the grass. Pitch on the way is a fastball away for ball 3.
You know, I was really impressed. I've been watching Oregon State play in the Super Regionals, and their ability to bunt has been a definite game changer. That's a lost art that a lot of people don't think you need to be able to do well, but if you can do it well, it's a free base hit.
Jared Hall not going to make any friends with the umpire when he started walking away and nearly tossed his bat away, thinking it was ball 4, but it was strike 2. 3-2 count. Runners at first and second. The runner from second goes. The pitch is swung on a line drive right to left field, and they'll double him up at second base. It was a run hit from the runner out there at second. I'm not sure what he was thinking about out there, but a double play for the Applesox.
I think he was stealing on the play, because if you saw the runner from first base, he was halfway down too. And there was no chance he was getting back on that, so we'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take it. Yeah, definitely so. So 2 outs suddenly in the inning. And the tightrope walk continues here for the Applesox pitching staff as Kieran Gaffney steps up. Gaffney 0 for 3 tonight with a couple of strikeouts and a ground out. Pitch here, swung on a chop slowly up the third baseline. That's foul. And the count's 0-1 to Gaffney.
Oh, little ball on the field over there.
So, a full count, though, with nobody out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a costly runner.
It is.
For Kamloops.
But I don't disagree with it because, again, he could have had a good look on the pitcher. I haven't been focusing in on Trevor's looks here, but if he was consistent with his looks, then, I mean, you swipe that bag, any ball in play keeps you out of a double play, pretty much.
True.
So
that's true. 1-1 to count here to Jared Hall. Trevor Young in relief here for the Applesox.
Except for a line drive to the left fielder.
Pitch on the way, swung on, pop foul, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. So Applesox, a strike away from getting out of this inning. 1-2 to count. And I promise after this third out, we will stretch here at the ballpark. 1-2 pitch from Trevor Young on the way. Swung on and chopped foul again. This is on the third base side, so the count stays at a ball and 2 strikes.
You know, these protective screens that they have down the baselines are so nice. They started doing that at the Major League Baseball fields a couple of years ago, and you got to protect
the fans.
Yeah.
1-2 pitch is the fans wanted strike 3. Trevor Young started walking off the mound like he thought it was strike 3, but instead it's ball 2. 2-2 the count here.
Some of those balls come off the bat so hard.
The 2-2 pitch by Young, swung on and hit in the air to left field. Backing up, the left fielder will make the catch on the run. That's Jack Parker out there. And that'll do it for Kamloops. Well, they had a threat, but the threat is quashed. We'll take a stretch here at the ballpark, head to the bottom of the 7th. Wenatchee still leading at 6-3 here on the NCWLIFE channel.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
At Kennedy Group, we understand that buying and selling is more than a transaction, and it's more than just a house. This is where you will gather with friends and family, and where a lifetime of memories will be made. But buying a home is more than memories. Oftentimes, it's your biggest financial decision. The agents at Kennedy Group understand this and provide real estate advice based on your goals and dreams. Call us today and let's find your happy place.
New pitcher into the ball game here for the Kamloops Northpaws is Keith Manby, a 6'1", 200-pound sophomore from Thompson River University. He's out of White Rock, BC. There's a lot of BC kids playing for Kamloops, so I like to see that personally.
Yeah. Keep them close, right?
Right. You know, and there's some good baseball being played up north of the border, too.
Very good. Their only disadvantage that they have is kind of like North Dakota. There's a lot of snow that sticks around for a long time.
Right. Almost went and played football at Simon Fraser.
Oh, really?
That was a tempting.
In Vancouver, right?
Yeah, tempting offer, but that's big city.
Yeah.
Vancouver is big city. I'm from Cedar Woolley, small town.
Yeah.
So wasn't quite prepared for that.
I tell you, they have some huge cities up there. Toronto.
Oh, yeah.
Toronto and the surrounding areas, like 12 million people or something like that.
Yeah, I've never been to Toronto.
Yeah.
So here we go to the 7th. Keith Manby now on the mound, right-hander for Kamloops. And the first batter he'll face is Brady Bean. And the first pitch swung on, fouled away on the right side. The count 0-1. He's trying to ride a little jet stream out to right field there. The wind really kind of blowing in from left more than it is across the diamond. 0-1 count to Brady Bean.
If you look at that flag, it looks like it's going to right, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of swirling out there. The 0-1 pitch on the way, low and away for a ball. 1-1. Brady looking for his first hit tonight. He's 0 for 3 with a line out to center, a fly out to right, and a pop up to the shortstop. 1-1 to count. Pitch swung on it, hit hard on the ground, ate up the shortstop and bounces off of his shoulder into shallow center. Brady Bean aboard.
I know you're not going to want to, but that has to be an error. That ball was hit hard, took a bad bounce, but that's got to be fielded.
So one aboard here for the Applesox to lead it off in the 7th. Well, it's been a while since the Applesox have had a leadoff man aboard. You got to go all the way back to the 3rd inning when Camden Bates got aboard on a leadoff single. Since then, it's all been outs for the Sox on the first at bat. Bunt attempt here, fouled, and 0-1 to count to my favorite player, Kyle
Panganiban.
No.
Yes,
no.
Panganiban.
No, it's not. It's not gun. It's Panganiban.
Where's the A? Panganiban.
No, it's not. It's not Ganiban. I asked him. I said,
Okay.
"What is it?" Swing and a miss here. Out 0-2.
I know.
Yeah, it's spelled, for those at home that can't see, it's P-A-N-A-or-G-A-N-I-B-O-N. That's how you spell it. But pronounce
B-A-N.
B-A-N? Is it
Yeah.
B-A-N? Okay.
Yeah.
Bond.
We can't even spell it, and it's right in front of us.
Swing and a miss here for KP. 1 out in the inning for the Applesox. Brings up Noah Fields. Noah 1 for 2 tonight. He walked and scored in the 2nd, flew out also in the 2nd, and had a base hit to left in the 5th. 6-3 ball game. It just feels tighter than 3 runs right now.
It does.
It just
Well, because we've only scored in the one inning, kind of like last night.
Yeah. First pitch misses outside for a ball. 1-0 the count to
And it's
Noah.
not like we're playing against a bunch of slouches either.
No, this is a good
Kamloops
team.
can play. Yeah.
Absolutely. They came in a 3-way tie for first place in the North Division of the West Coast League. And the pitch here, swung on a miss. Has a hefty swing by Noah Fields. Evens the count to the ball on the strike. Well, my eyes are getting better. Back during the high school season in the spring, boy, I had a heck of a time seeing anything. This pitch swung on and fouled at the plate, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. They're getting better, but this light right here, where we're not quite dark and we're not quite light, and the lights of the ballpark really not taking effect, so I'll depend on you for some help here.
You know,
to the count.
As I watch Noah swinging here, he's got his hands really far forward, it looks to me, and then he comes back and gets set, or really high, I guess it is.
Yeah,
and then he brings them back. He's got to have his timing down.
Pitch is swung on as the runner from first was going. The tag attempt there is no good, but the throw to first is in time.
His timing has got to be so good on that, and that's where he can get away from it because he's playing in college and he's having a bat after a bat after a bat, but not something that you would probably suggest to a young kid to say, hey, start with your hands here, just because the timing process is so hard.
And you kind of have to wind up then, because you're starting here, coming back, and then coming through the swing. Camden Bates, who's had a great debut for the Applesox, steps up now with a runner in second base, and the first pitch misses low for a ball. 1-0 the count. He was finally retired in an at-bat after getting 2 base hits in his first 2 plate appearances. He flew out to center in the 5th.
And he hit that one really well, too.
He did. 1-0 the count. Yeah, all 3 at-bats here. He has struck the ball well. The 1-0 pitch to him, swung on it, a fly ball to right field. And this should be playable. Wind shouldn't have too much effect on that one, and Jared Hall will squeeze it out there for the final out. So the Applesox get a runner aboard on an error. They leave a man. We'll head to the 8th inning of play. Wenatchee still on top, 6-3. You're watching West Coast League Baseball on the NCWLIFE channel.
For over 35 years, the Sangster family has been not only representing GMC, but the entire community.
As one of the few family-owned dealerships in Washington, you can count on our personal integrity, which has spanned over 3 generations, to ensure your satisfaction.
Sangster Motors stands behind everything we sell, from GMC professional-grade products and service,
from a professional-grade dealership.
Remember, caring about your family is what brings you back to ours.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
As we head to the 8th inning of play, Wenatchee up 6-3. Thanks for joining us on the NCWLIFE channel. As we head to the 8th frame, it will be Brendan Burke, Anthony Sedicassi, and Ethan Kadama do up here for the Kamloops Northpaws. That's kind of the unique thing about the West Coast League and these northern teams too. You've got the Applesox, number 1. That is a capital A and a capital S, all one word. Curveball here misses for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Brendan Burke as Trevor Young continues to relieve here for the Applesox. You've got the Northpaws here tonight. Capital N, capital P, all one word. You've got the River Hawks out of Edmonton, that capital R, capital H, all one word. Are you getting, you getting the trend here?
The Harbor Cats.
The Harbor Cats, which is a capital H and a capital C, all one word. Harbor, by the way, spelled O-U-R. Swing and a foul.
Right?
Count goes to a ball and a strike. They'll say Canadian.
Oh, Canadian. Yes. Stemming from the French language.
Yeah. Who else am I missing here out of the north?
The Night Owls.
The Night Owls, right? Capital N, capital O, all one word.
This is going to be a tough play.
Foul territory, long run. Who's going to call for it? It'll be the first baseman. And, careful, gang. Holmdahl kind of ran into Henkel there.
Little communication, we've talked about that a lot of times, haven't we, Eric?
And that is an easier play for Holmdahl. Just, simply where it is, it's, more than halfway down the first baseline of foul territory, but also because the catcher's got a bunch of gear on.
He's got a bunch of gear. He's got, we call it a pancake on his hand.
You're right. And the ball's twisting away from him and coming back towards the crowd here at the ballpark.
Yeah. So everything about that says that's first baseman's ball.
1 out. Anthony Sedicassi fouled off the first pitch. Or no, excuse me, it ran back past the backstop here. And the pitch here swung on, popped up, foul. There we go, 1-1.
And we've talked about that earlier. This is, I believe this is Henkel's first time catching for the Applesox.
First time I've seen him.
Yeah. And so that communication hasn't been established.
Nope, absolutely. But we got a good microphone on the field. I didn't hear anybody calling for it. Did you?
Right. No, I didn't.
1-1 count, and this pitch is in there for a strike, and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes to Anthony Sedicassi.
And some schools will say ball, ball, ball.
Right.
Some schools say me, me, me.
Right.
Others will say get out, and then there's a response.
Pitch swung on and popped back over the mound and into center field for a 1-out base hit for Sedicassi. And with 1 aboard and 1 down, that brings up Ethan Kadama. Somebody else who needs to help on that situation is the pitcher.
Yeah.
Because he is closest to helping out to say, first, they might not know each other's names yet,
exactly.
1 aboard here with Kadama stepping up, and the first pitch on the way to him is swung on and hit foul. 0-1 the count.
Yeah, it's a shock to me that they aren't returning the foul balls because those balls are expensive.
They are. Yeah, they are. And the man who's paying for them is
right
sitting
in front
of us. Jose Oglesby, the owner of the Applesox.
Yeah. We've had that discussion before about how many balls they go through in a major league game. Because everyone that touches the dirt whatsoever is gone.
Just drives me nuts. 0-1 the count here. And after a very deliberate hold out there, Young's next pitch is missing for a ball.
You know, I mentioned earlier about where KP's playing, and he loves that position right there.
Yeah.
He's given up a lot on the line. Obviously, he's very quick because he's been able to get to most of the balls that are going that direction, but he gives up a lot of space down that third baseline.
Good block by catcher Mr. Hinkle to keep that ball from getting away from him, allowing the runner to advance to second base. 2-1 to count here to Kadama. Kadama 0 for 3 tonight with a pop foul on a bunt, a couple of strikeouts. The 2-1 pitch. Oh my. Ball 3.
Yeah, that ball was in, just had a little bit of giddy up on it.
Yeah, it did.
Go, Trevor.
It did. Small crowd here at the ballpark tonight. Expecting that to kind of grow as we get towards the weekend. Father's Day weekend coming up. Happy Dad's Day to everybody. 3-1 to count to Kadama, and this is low for ball 4.
Go, Trev. We'll talk to him, Hank.
So runners at first and second now, and
Elijah Clayton.
here we go again with the tying run coming to the plate and Elijah Clayton. And we'll have Quincy Vassar coming out to the mound here for a little talk with Trevor Young as the Applesox scramble and send a couple of bodies down to the bullpen area. Our broadcast here on the NCWLIFE channel brought to you in part by Together for Youth, encouraging you to dispose of unused and expired prescriptions to protect youth and the environment. Find a kiosk near you by visiting medproject.org. Also by Valley Tractor, North Central Washington's trusted equipment and rental dealer for 75 years. That's Valley Tractor. Well, again, it seems like it's been a tightrope all night long for the Applesox.
It has.
Pitching staff.
They've had a lot of base runners tonight, haven't they?
Let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 left on base here for Kamloops in the ball game. And now 2 aboard here in the 8th with 1 out. Back to the top of the order for Elijah Clayton. First pitch, swung on a chop to the third baseman. Backing up is KP. He'll step on the bag, throw to first, and it's not in time. But they do get the lead runner.
That was a good job of just making sure you get 1 out right there.
So 5 unassisted on the putout. So that's a big second out here in the inning.
And again, that ball bounced pretty high there. So if that ball would have come at him hot, he could have turned that double play
for sure.
You know, 5-4-3 double play, but in that situation, just make sure you get 1 out.
So Connor Clark now steps up here for Kamloops. And the first pitch is in there for a called strike, and the fans who are here are being rather throaty right now at the ballpark.
And see right here, this is where I was talking about. KP should, in my opinion, should deepen up a little bit. We've got 2 outs. So all he has to do is field a ball and tag the bag.
Pitch is a little low and outside for a ball. 1-1 to count to Connor Clark, who is 1 for 2 in the ball game. He's walked twice, has a single and a run scored. Scored Kamloops' first run back in the 3rd. The 1-1 pitch by Young is over the head of the batter. 2-1 the count. Good job by Hinkle to reach over and keep that ball from going right to the backstop.
Yeah.
2-1 count to Connor Clark. Trevor Young in relief, and they got a right-hander to the Applesox warming up down to the bullpen behind him. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. It's outside for ball 3. He's got 3 balls on a lot of guys here.
Trevor shows a lot of effort throwing.
Yes.
It's not quite as smooth, but he really reaches back and gets the velocity that he's looking for.
4th batter he's faced where he's gone at least 3 balls. Pitch on the way, swung on it, fouled back, and the count now full at 3-2.
Runners will be taken off here.
Yes,
Full
they
count,
will.
2 outs.
Now let's see if KP over there at third base backs up a little bit. He did. A little bit. Runners at first and at second in a 3-run game with the tying run at the plate. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 8th inning. The pitch by Young on the way is high for ball 4. That loads him up.
Now batting, number 3, Drew Schmidt.
Drew Schmidt now stepping to the plate, who has been hitting the ball hard here in the ball game. All to the left side. Reminder.
Yeah, again, this is again where I would deepen up if I was
KP is even with the bag at third right now. And the pitch by Young, swung on and a fly ball to center field. That's going to drop down for a base hit. One run is going to score, and they're going to try to score 2. The throw from the center fielder is cut off by the first baseman at the mound. So 2 runs are in on the 2-run single by Drew Schmidt, reaching down for the first pitch that came to him and drilling it right to center field. It is a 1-run ball game, and we're going to get a new pitcher as Coach Mitch Darlington comes out of the third base dugout. We'll take a break and come back and try to breathe. It's a 1-run contest and still not done here in the 8th. For Kamloops, we're back after this 60-second timeout on the NCWLIFE channel.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chase on the other side. You can lift this up.
Great, I want that one. I would like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Tacos Chava has something new. Customers at Tacos Chava say it's the best Mexican food around. Nachos, enchiladas, tortas, ensaladas, and introducing camarones in many styles. You'll love the fresh salsa bar with so much selection. Are you ready for Tacos Chava? Find them at 2 great locations, the Wenatchee Valley Mall and Eniat. Tacos Chava, tan delicioso.
So the 4th pitcher of the night will take to the mound here for the Wenatchee Applesox, and he's no stranger to this mound is Mr. Joe Skyleman, now taking over in relief for the Wenatchee Applesox. Of course, out of Wenatchee High School, played at Wenatchee Valley College, so he knows this mound well, and he's done well for the Applesox. A 0 earned run average. The 6'2", 195-pound sophomore from WVC will take over and try to put out this fire right now with Kamloops nibbling distance away from tying this thing up with runners at first and second and 2 outs and 2 runs are in. Skyleman will face Kalen Applefield here for the Northpaws. Let's get you up to date on some other scores. Bend still trailing Bellingham on the road tonight, 8-5. Nanaimo is trailing Victoria. The Harbor Cats having their way 11-2 in that one. 4-1, Richfield leading Yakima Valley, and it is Kelowna on top of Edmonton, 3-0. So here we go. Applefield takes to the diamond here as the left-handed batter. The pitch on the way to him by Skyleman is ball, 1-0 the count. Other scores. Marion Berries leading at Kamloops tonight by a score of 4-1. That's in the bottom of the 7th. The 1-0 pitch by Skyleman, off speed, low and inside for a ball. 2-0 the count. It's Corvallis leading Springfield 9-2. That's in the top of the 6th inning. And in the top of the 4th, Portland on top of Walla Walla 6-2. And Joe Skyleman has gone 3-0 here on the first man he's facing. Right-hander ready, and the pitch on the way is across this time for a called strike, and the count goes to 3-1. Taking all the way was Kalen Applefield. Applefield with 3 strikeouts and a walk in the game. Would love to get a walk here and load him up and put more pressure on the Applesox defense. And now a 6-5 ball game. Pitch on the way, swung on and dropped towards the second baseman, took a high hop, but right there is Bates, and he'll throw out the runner, and Skyleman does his job. 4-3 on the putout as Kamloops get a couple of runs here in the inning, and we'll head to the bottom of the 8th. Applesox lead at 6-5. Could certainly use some insurance when we come back here on the NCWLIFE channel.
Hey man,
How's it going?
Getting better, actually, thanks.
Did they give you anything for pain after surgery? Because I think I may have some left over.
Nah, that's all right, man. Actually, me and my doctor talked about not sharing prescriptions, and that ibuprofen is a good option for me. The risk of addiction, it's not worth it.
Makes sense.
Take the next step. Don't share your prescriptions and talk to your friends about the dangers of opioids.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether.
We provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Excuse me, welcome back here to Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. Sucked in a bug just as we come back for the bottom of the 8th inning. Jack Barker, Colby Holmdahl, and Quincy Marlboro due up here for the Applesox, who scored 6 runs in the second inning as they battered around, brought 10 to the plate in the second, and since then, the Northpaws have been nibbling and nibbling and nibbling, and now they take a bite with 2 runs in the top half of this inning to cut it to a 6-5 ball game. Not over yet.
No, we could use a couple insurance runs here. Joe Skylerman would feel a lot better about himself being up 2 or 3 or 4.
Swinging a foul by Jack Barker on the first pitch to him. He'll take this one for a ball. 1-1 the count to Barker, who is 2 for 3 in the ball game. Base hit, a run. Also got a board on an error. Pitch on the way here, swung on and hit off the end of the bat to the shortstop. He'll wait and field and then throw a little bit low on the throw.
Man, I saw that glove bounce out of his back pocket. I thought it was the ball.
Colby Holmdahl.
So 6-3 on the putout. Give credit and tip a cap to the relief pitchers here for Kamloops. They've done a great job of keeping the Applesox at bay here. Colby Holmdahl steps up. First pitch to him is outside for ball 1.
Yeah, they've come in and shut the door on us pretty hard.
1-0 pitch, swung on a miss by Holmdahl, fishing outside for that one.
You got this, Colby.
Count evens at 1-1 strike. Again, we'll be back here on Friday as Port Angeles comes to town to take on the Applesox. Boy, that wind really whipping across from left to right here. Pitch swung on and grounded to the left side of the infield. Backhanding the ball by the shortstop. Throw to first is in time. What a play by Drew Schmidt. That's 3 stars by his name tonight defensively for Kamloops. My, oh my.
A great play.
So 2 down here in the 8th inning. Brings up Quincy Marlboro. Quincy yet to get aboard safely. He walked and scored in the second. He grounded out in the 3rd and struck out in the 6th. So J.M. Hardevell went just an inning plus tonight. Gave up all 6 runs on 5 hits, couple of strikeouts, or 1 strikeout, 2 walks. Tyler Staley came in, pitched 5 innings of relief, no runs, 3 hits. 1 strikeout, no walks. And now Keith Manby continues to try to wrap it up here for Kamloops as we're in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Yeah, we've gotten a couple hits, but they've all been sporadic. We haven't been able to string anything together other than that 1 inning.
Couple of balls here to Marlboro. Quincy back in already. And the pitch on the way, swung on and fouled back, and the count goes to 2-1. We'll be off next week. Return to the ballpark on Friday, June 27th for Victoria in town to take on the Applesox. And I don't know what it is about Victoria. They seem to have Wenatchee's number. I'll have to go back and look at the lifetime against between the 2 teams, but it seems Victoria has had the advantage. This pitch swung on a hit hard but foul and out of play. Count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. By the way, coming into this game tonight, Wenatchee's had Kamloops' number, 19-2 against Kamloops going back to 2022. So that's pretty dominant.
Yeah, that is pretty dominant.
2-2 count to Marlboro here. And the pitch by Manby swung on and again fouled back, so the count stays at 2-2.
And it's not like they're the Colorado Rockies.
No.
they're a good baseball team.
Yeah, definitely so. And then, playing at Norbrock Stadium, that's a long trip from Wenatchee to go up to Norbrock Stadium. It's 9 hours, I want to say.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a long drive. Norbrock Stadium, by the way, cool place, cool ballpark, and they've got some very unique things for the fans there. They get a great turnout because, honestly, what is there to do in Kamloops, BC in the summertime other than lounge by the water?
Yeah.
Pitch here misses outside for ball 3. 2 down here for the Applesox in the 8th with nobody aboard and a 3-2 count on Quincy Marlboro. But they have the tradition down the right field line. If somebody in the infield, somebody in the game boots the ball, they will throw a giant shoe into foul territory. This pitch swung on a hit hard. That's going to get down in the gap between left and center. Rounding first on a wide turn is Marlboro with his first hit of the night. Good job, Quincy. That'll bring up Henry Hinkle.
That's a great at-bat.
We're going to have a pinch runner come out.
Now batting, number 33, Jake Sanko.
34 is our pinch runner.
Okay.
'34 is Gunnar Pinscover.
Okay.
From Grand Canyon University.
Pinscover is a pitcher, but has also done well batting for the Applesox. Over the weekend in Nanaimo, where the Applesox took 2 of 3. Runner for first goes. The pitch is swung on and hit hard to left center. And
I thought that ball was hit farther than that was.
My God.
That was Jake Sanko came in to hit right there.
Sanko hit for Henkel. So we'll get a new catcher when we head to the 9th inning of play. So it's hold on time for the Applesox. Lead at 6-5 over Kamloops as we'll head to the 9th inning of play coming up next on the NCWLIFE channel.
You trust the same doctor for your health and the same dentist for your smile. Trust Global Car Care to keep your vehicle running strong. We track your car's history so it gets the right care at the right time. With our 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on parts and labor, you'll drive away with confidence. Global Car Care, your automotive experts. We service all makes and models, but specialize in Sprinter vans, Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen, and BMW. Call or visit us today.
Well, here we go. Hold on time for the Applesox. Top of the 9th inning, Jared Hall will lead it off for Kamloops in a 6-5 ball game, and a wind blowing across the right field for a left-handed batter. One swing could tie this thing up. Pitched by Joe Skyleman on the way, swung on and fouled back, and a count 0-1 on Hall. Hall is 2 for 3 in the ball game. Skyleman ready, and the right-hander's delivery is a strike, according to our home plate umpire, Jacob Fisher. Hudson Boucher, our field umpire here tonight, and the pitch swung on and a fly ball to right field that's going to go through for a base hit. So a leadoff man aboard again here for Kamloops. After Wenatchee got a 6-0 lead in the second, Kamloops scored a run in the third, 2 in the fourth, and 2 more in the 8th. Now here we are in the 9th with the tying run at first base.
I would assume that they're going to be bunting here just to advance the runner.
Kieran Gaffney will have that task upon his shoulders. He squares to bunt, bunts it off the plate, and the ball goes foul. 0-1 to count. And Owen Firestone has taken over catching for the Applesox. You didn't see any other defensive changes?
Nate Gray Jr. is in center field.
Okay, so Nate Gray Jr. who has done very well for the Applesox here so far in the early going. Pitch is bunted up the first baseline. Beautiful bunt. First baseman off the mound will throw over to the second baseman covering. Good job by Bates to get over there to cover. Meanwhile, down to second on the play goes the base runner, Jared Hall.
Now batting for 37, Brendan Burke.
So that'll go down as a sacrifice. 1-4 on the putout. 1 out in the inning, and that brings up Brendan Burke.
That was a good bunt by him. Just make sure you get it down and advance the runner, and great defensive play by us there.
Pitch swung on and hit foul, and out of play on the first base side. 0-1 to count here to Burke. Brendan with a double back in the second. He's hitless since he walked and scored back in the fourth. Joe Skyleman in relief, trying to shut it down here. Pitch on the way. Swung on and a fly ball to right field. That's going to get out for a base hit. Runner from third is going to try to score. The throw is dropped by the cutoff man, and the run will score. The game is tied at 6-6. Beautiful throw by right fielder Brady Bean, but unfortunately the first baseman Holmdahl dropped the ball on the relay.
Just tried to be a little bit too quick there, took his eye off the ball, hit right off the top of his glove. They were going no matter what on that one. I would think that was his third base coach's mindset was, hey, I'm going to score this guy.
We've got a pinch hitter, I assume, coming to the plate now.
Number 7.
So 7 for Kamloops.
7 is
Cade Polkowski.
Yep, Polkowski from Wisconsin, Milwaukee, University of.
So Polkowski will bat here with the game tied at 6-6. And a runner, by the way, out at second base in scoring position with 1 out. Pitch on the way is outside for a ball. 1-2 to count to Polkowski. Skyleman set. Right-hander checks the runner out at second base. And the pitch on the way, swung on, popped up, foul territory. First baseman Holmdahl over, and that's a hard ball to catch. He does.
Not an easy play there. Looked like it shocked him a little bit and went a little bit further right at the end, didn't it?
It did. A little wind got a hold of it. Tried to blow it away from him, but it is caught in foul territory. So 2 down in the inning, and that brings up Ethan Kadama. Kadama got 1 hit tonight in 3 appearances. Also walked and scored back in the 8th. Pitch here is in there for a strike. 0-1 the count to Ethan Kadama. So the Applesox will try to hold on here, keep it a tie game, and win it in a walk-off in the bottom of the 9th inning, and they will have the top of the order due up. The 0-1 pitch swung on and hit hard but foul, and the count goes to 0-2 on Kadama.
We need to get out of this and get a little bit of mojo going.
Yeah, offensively it has been quiet since the 2nd inning. Pitch here swung on and hit to the left side. PK is there. He'll throw to second, or actually throw to first. Looked like he thought about throwing to second base.
Well, he went to tag the guy, but luckily he didn't throw to second because there was nobody on first.
Yeah, so, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
We'll take that.
Here we are, all tied up as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning, and looking for some magic here as the Kamloops Northpaws trying to come all the way back. They have, but the Applesox will have the top of the order due up next here on the NCWLIFE channel.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Call Alpine Air Heating and Cooling today. Your comfort is their priority.
Highlander Golf Course and Grill, located in East Wenatchee, offers terrific views and challenging play for golfers at every skill level. From the golf course to the grill, you don't need to be a member to dine in style and play golf too. Highlander's well-groomed fairways and greens keep it difficult, yet friendly for your regular rounds of golf or a new destination for you and your out-of-town friends. Contact the Highlander Pro Shop today to schedule your tee time, outing, or tournament. Open 7 days a week, where everyone is welcome to play and eat. Well, it's been an interesting night here at the ballpark. Wenatchee grabbed an early 6-0 lead, and then Kamloops came back with a run in the third, 2 in the fourth, 2 in the eighth, and 1 in the ninth to tie it up at 6-6. And here we go, bottom of the ninth, top of the order. 2 up for the Applesox, and boy, it has been a desert on the base paths for Wenatchee as far as trying to drive runs in. They've had runners out there, but they just have not been able to put together the hit that mattered. They'll have to try to do it here in the bottom of the ninth inning. Cade Martinez leads it off. First pitch to him swung on and sounded like a broken bat to the second baseman. And right there is Elijah Clayton for the first out.
Yeah, we've talked about this, seeing pitches, and that, I mean, probably appeared to be a good pitch for him, but I always tell kids if you're going to be swinging first pitch in a situation like this, it better be a ball you can hit out of the ballpark.
Brady Bean now steps up for the Applesox, and the first pitch to him swung on and hit hard but foul down the right field line. That was about 50 yards to the left. I think that had the distance to go out.
Yeah.
0-1 the count to Bean. Again, Keith Manby has done a good job in relief here. This pitch is a ball inside. 1-1 the count to Bean. Brady lined out, flew out, popped out, and got aboard on an error in the last at bat in the seventh. The 1-1 pitch on the way to him here, swung on and hit in the air a mile high, but foul. And the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. 1 out for the Applesox here in the 9th inning of play. As we are approaching the 3-hour mark of this baseball game.
The wind just picked up going out to left center, see if it can make a run.
Pitch swung on and hit hard but foul again.
Left center, not right.
Yeah, count stays at 1-2. Although out there in the outfield, the flag is
it does look like it's going to right.
Blowing left to right, yeah. Again, Manby set. Here comes the 1-2 pitch again. And it is strike 3 called on the inside corner. Gone looking is Brady Bean. 2 outs here in the 9th inning. Brings up KP.
Kyle Johnny Bond.
Go, Kyle.
Well, he's hit a couple balls hard today.
Yeah, but he's not gotten the benefit of a base hit here in the game so far. Pitch here swung on and fouled into the glove of the catcher. 0-1 the count to Kyle
Panganiban is what old Jackson Dodd's saying up there.
Kyle told me there's no hard G.
Oh, okay.
So it's Panganiban. Pitch swung on and fouled back, and the count 0-2 here. Panganiban. When I do it slow, I'm good.
Yeah.
Panganiban. 0-2 count to Panganiban. KP back in. Pitch to him is strike. No. Ball 1. Game 2 of a 3-game set between these two. It was a 4-3 difference last night. Wenatchee scoring all 4 runs in 1 frame. This curveball misses high for ball 2. 2-2. Tonight, 6 runs in 1 inning for the Applesox and nothing since. And Kamloops has tied it. We're in the bottom of the 9th inning with 2 outs, nobody aboard, in a 2-2 ball game. The pitch by Keith Manby on the way, swung on a miss. So we will head to extra frames here tonight as we are through 9, and it is all tied at 6-6. We're back with the 10th coming up next on the NCWLIFE channel.
Apple Valley Honda is bringing the future of driving to you. Introducing the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue EV. Say goodbye to gas stations and hello to a whisper quiet ride in zero emissions. The wait is over. Finally, a local option for a quality EV from a brand with a track record of exceptional quality and reliability. Experience the Honda Prologue EV for yourself at family-owned Apple Valley Honda. Stay close to home and visit us at Apple Valley Honda today for the life you live.
The agents of Kennedy Real Estate Group are committed to providing the ideal client experience. We believe in the power of relationships. Why? Because we don't just work here, we live here. From the nonprofits we serve, the parks where we play, and the local businesses we support, our team understands the value of living in the Wenatchee Valley. Let's begin your real estate story.
Well, we go 10 innings here tonight. Extra baseball for free. You don't have to pay for it. As we head to the 10th inning of play, we've got a new pitcher on the mound for the Wenatchee Applesox. And Brandon, you're going to have to help me out again with who the new pitcher is.
Aiden Gonzalez from University of California, San Diego. He's a senior down there.
Okay. So Aiden Gonzalez on the mound now for Wenatchee. Credit Kamloops for not only doing well with their pitching staff tonight in relief, but also give credit to their offense. Just kept at it, kept the pressure on. Base runners every single inning here in the ballgame tonight. They get the run aboard and in the ninth to send it into extras. So here we go, top of the order, due up. Elijah Clayton will lead it off here against Gonzalez. Gonzalez, the right-hander.
Sixth time through the order.
Yeah. Pitch on the way is low for ball one. 1-0 the counts. Clayton, strikeout, walk, score, base hit. Fielder's choice and scored. We're going to get a little discussion. Firestone and Gonzalez need to be on the same page here for sure.
Yeah, this time of night, like you were talking about, there's a bunch of shadows and everything. So
hard to see.
Yeah, you'll see sometimes where catchers will paint their fingernails with just like, a lot of times they just do it with whiteout and put the whiteout on there so they can see the number of fingers that they have, or they'll switch to touches and depending on where they touch.
Knee, chest, across the chest, shoulder to shoulder.
There we go. Went to touches there.
1-0 pitch on the way is in there for a strike. 1-1 to count here to Elijah Clayton. Top of the order here for Kamloops as we're in extra innings in a 6-6 tie. Pitch by Gonzalez on the way to the plate, swung on and hit foul into the net behind home plate. The count goes to a ball and 2 strikes here on Elijah Clayton.
It's always funny how different teams will give their signs so much differently. Some are just verbal signs, some are like first thing you touch, some are second thing, some depends on the count, like if you're ahead in the count, behind the count, or even in the count, in how you give your signs. It's fascinating, honestly, to see different ways that teams can give their signs.
1-2 pitch sails high for ball 2, evens the count to Clayton. Top of the 10th inning, nobody aboard in a 6-6 tie. The 2-2 pitch, outside and low for ball 3.
Well, and that's not just in baseball, but that's in all sports, because do you remember that movie that the University of Michigan sign stealer?
Oh, yeah.
Where he ended up stealing signs, and
this pitch misses outside for ball 4. So a leadoff man aboard here in the 10th inning for Kamloops.
Now batting, number 1, Connor Clark.
The Northpaws had a leadoff man aboard in the 9th inning, and he came around to score the game-tying run to send us into the 10th here. So now Clayton aboard. Connor Clark will now step up.
I would assume he's going to be bunting here to work to get that 1 run. And especially for Drew Schmidt, who's been hitting the ball really well tonight.
He has hit it very hard. First pitch misses away as Squaring to bunt, sorta, was Connor Clark. 1-0 the count.
I don't know why you would make this a surprise. I mean, everybody in the ballpark
pretty much knows
that you're going to be bunting. Might as well just show it early.
Absolutely.
And get it done.
Well, sometimes that gets in the cranium of the pitcher out there.
Right.
Because you feel like you want to change how you throw it. Pitcher,
back to the Little League days where they wiggle the bat.
Yeah, right. This is a called strike in the count, even at 1-1. Did he call that a bunt attempt?
Yes, he did.
Okay, so swing. 1-1 to count to Clark with a runner at first base. Pitch is curveball missing outside.
Clark doesn't look like he bunts very often. Doesn't look.
Well, he's batting 400 on the season coming in.
Right.
He has walked 3 times tonight, so he's got a great eye.
Yeah.
Head of the count here at 2-1. Aiden Gonzalez will pitch, and the ball bunted but foul at the first base side. What do you tell your pitchers when a guy does square to bunt? You throw it hard and high into him, or how do you?
You know, the last thing you want to do is walk him, right? So throw a strike. If you're ahead in the count, you can throw your off-speed pitch up because a curveball is going to be a little bit harder to bunt than what a fastball is. But ultimately, I mean, if they're going to give you the out right about now,
take it.
Take it.
Yeah.
And hopefully they screw up the bunt and you get a double play out of it.
2-2 the count here to Clark. Runner from first goes. The pitch is a strike call. Throw down to second base. Oh my! Shortstop for the Applesox, Cade Martinez, thought they got that pickoff down at the bag at second. That was a close play.
Oh, he struck him out. I thought that was ball.
Drew Schmidt.
So gone looking is Connor Clark for the first down. Meanwhile, down to second on a stolen base is Elijah Clayton. So a run in scoring position here for Kamloops.
That was a quick take by Martinez.
It was. Man, Drew Schmidt now steps up. And the first pitch to him is a ball.
He just looks so comfortable at the plate here.
He does. He's got 4 RBI on the night. He's been the Applesox killer here in the ball game. He's got 3 base hits. And the 1-0 pitch. That's about the longest delay we've had on a strike call all night long.
We'll take it.
Aiden Gonzalez trying to get through a half inning and keep it tied at 6. Pitch on the way, swung on a hit through the right side for a base hit. Brady Bean comes up with a ball. He will pump, he will throw. The throw home is
great job
in time, but the runner from third holds on the play. Great job by Brady Bean to quickly come up with that baseball, charge it, aggressively fire it home, and a pretty good throw home. And the runner at third will hold on the base hit.
And he attacked that pretty hard too, which is something that he was probably a little nervous about because he had a bad hop earlier in the game. But like a good baseball player, you got to forget what happened and just think positively about the next attempt that you're going to get.
So Mitch Darlington comes out on the field right now to talk to his infield about how they want to play this defensively. You assume the runner from first is going to try to get to second and maybe cause a throw, or are you going to fake a throw? You're going to go back to third? What are you going to do here, Coach?
Yeah, you know, with Elijah Clayton at third base, he's obviously got good speed, or else he wouldn't be in the leadoff position. So any throw that you see past the pitcher here as Clayton, I'm going to be probably sending him. So defensively, I probably am not going to be throwing the ball down. Just go ahead and concede the base, just to keep it so you can keep that runner at bay at third base.
Well, the infielder is at double play depth here. Runner from first goes. The pitch is low for a ball. And down to second uncontested is Drew Schmidt. 1-0 the count here to Kalen Applefield, who has struck out 3 times. This pitch swung on, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. That's going to score 2 runs, and the ball gets past the center fielder momentarily, and Kamloops is up 2 runs here in the 10th inning, 8-6.
Good time for Applefield to come up for his first base hit of the game.
Now batting number 4, Jared Hall.
We had done a good job of keeping him at bay.
Clayton scores. Schmidt scores. And that brings up Jared Hall, and the first pitch to Hall is low for a ball. 1-0 the count.
Schmidt's now responsible for 5 of their runs, is that right? 4 RBIs and a run scored.
Yep.
That's a good day for him.
Pitch swung on a grounded to the second baseman. They'll throw to second for 1. Low throw.
Good pick right there by
shortstop. Cade Martinez is able to make the catch on a ball that Canvas Bates just kind of had to back up, and then it kind of tried to eat him up as it got to him. Hall aboard on the fielder's choice, 4-6. Applefield is out for the second out. Now runner at first base for Kieran Gaffney. Pitch on the way, swung on and missed. Well, the Applesox will have a lot of work to do in the bottom of the 10th inning as they trail it by 2 now, trying to keep it at that. 0-1 pitch as the runner goes. The pitch is low. The throw down to second base. Firestone kind of.
Come on, Firestone!
He kind of gave a little hitch, so it didn't quite get that ball transferred, looks like, out of his glove cleanly.
Yeah, that was low and outside. Kind of a hard pitch to throw on.
2-0 the count here to Gaffney. And give a stolen base to Hall. This pitch swung on, fouled away. Well, I'll tell you, Kamloops has been aggressive here tonight.
Yeah.
Throughout the contest.
Well, and that's what we had said too. You know, when we first started out the game, they were swinging at a ton of pitches and swinging and striking out maybe, but
another run's going to score on an RBI. Brady Bean whips that ball home, but it was up the third baseline. And so now 3 runs are in here in the 10th.
Now batting number 37.
Yeah, when Carson was pitching, they were attacking early, fouling off a bunch of pitches. Yep. They're a good ball club.
Brendan Burke now steps up here for Kamloops, who have scored 3 runs here in the 10th inning to lead it over Wenatchee 9-6 now. Wenatchee just trying to get the final out here at the top of the 10th. Pitch on the way is missing outside for a ball. 1-0 the count to Brendan Burke. Due up in the bottom of the 10th here for Wenatchee will be the 4, 5, 6 hitters. Fields, Bates, and Barker. Toss to the bag at first, not in time. Every single inning in this ball game, Kamloops has had base runners aboard, and we talked about it early on that the starter for Wenatchee was kind of walking a tightrope as Karsten Swim went 3 2/3 and was able to pretty much navigate his way through it. Gave up 3 runs, but only 1 of which earned. Struck out 8. Jace Taylor came in, shut it down. No runs, 1 hit. Foul here.
Yeah, and you had mentioned 9 left on base, and that's not a good stat to have as an offensive ball club to have that many guys left on base, and they sure have switched that around.
Yeah, they have.
Since that moment.
Yes, they certainly have. Kamloops has scored 6 runs in the last 3 innings to take the lead. 2-2 count here, and a pitch. Swung on a miss, so they finally get the final out on a strikeout, but not before. Kamloops takes the lead here with 3 runs. They lead at 9-6 as we head to the bottom of the 10th inning. You're watching Applesox Baseball on the NCWLIFE channel.
A new video game, a movie, dinner with friends. There are a lot of things worth saving up for. Vapes aren't cheap, and buying pods over and over can stop you from affording things you want more. When it comes to your money, choose what matters. Choose you.
When life gets stressful, jumping into your passions can help you find your calm. Avoid vapes, which contain nicotine and can make feelings of anxiety and depression worse. When it comes to your mental health, choose what matters. Choose you.
Welcome to the summer of good. Good people, good taste, good vibes, and good, well, everything. When you're ready for some old-fashioned good, Abby's is your place. We've been celebrating summers around the PNW for over 60 years. At Abby's, good is a legendary tradition. Here's a good-looking pizza, guaranteed to bring some summer smiles. And right now, it's on sale, so it's good for your wallet too. This giant is loaded with toppings and can feed up to 6 people. Order at abbys.com. Give us a call or just drop by. It's the summer of good, only at Abby's Legendary Pizza.
To the bottom of the 10th we go. Applesox trailing it 9-6 now, and a new pitcher on the mound here for Kamloops taking over will be Julio Garcia, a 6'2", 217-pound junior from, guess who, University of Texas Tyler. He is a Texan from Baytown, so he's probably got a drawl to go with his fire on the mound. You were watching him warm up. He's got some steam, does he?
Yeah, he's got a little zip, a little whip to his lasso there.
Yeah, a little whip to his drawl. There we go. Noah Fields, Camden Bates, and Jack Barker due up for the Applesox, who have been quiet offensively since that second inning where they scored 6 runs. Since then, they have, let's see, 3 hits is all. No, 4 hits. Since then, they have left 5 base runners since that 6-run second inning. So there has not been a lot of traffic.
Now batting.
And the Applesox have just gone quiet here offensively. So now trying to find some juice, trying to find a battery pack for a jump start here in the bottom of the 10th, and that'll start with Noah Fields. And you hear a lot of racket coming out of the Kamloops dugout right now because they are certainly happy about the comeback here after trailing it early 6-0. Noah Fields.
He's got a tight slider that he likes to throw here.
Pitch, first pitch, missing inside for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Applesox got to have base runners. Oh, no. That is preeminent here in this frame. Noah with 1 base hit tonight. He's also scored a run. The 1-0 pitch swung on a miss. Boy, that's a hefty fastball. My, oh my. 1-1 the count to Noah. Walked and scored and came to the bat 2 times in that 9th inning as Wenatchee brought 10 men to the plate. 1-1 the count to him here. And the pitch swung on, and a ball caught by the shortstop, Schmidt. I'll tell you, the night has been the night for Drew Schmidt.
Yeah,
he has had several plays defensively tonight that have been star-worthy, and then at the plate, he has just eaten the Applesox up.
Yeah, he has been a shining star at the plate, like you said, but his defense, a couple of those plays were
just
shouldn't have been made.
No,
and he made them look routine almost.
Yeah, he did. Camden Bates will swing at the first pitch to him and foul it away. 0-1 to count to Camden, who's had a good debut for the Applesox. A couple of base hits. He scored a run. He's also flown out twice, so he is 2 for 4 in the ball game officially. The 0-1 pitch to him here swung on and fouled back in the count 0-2. So just what you want as a coach there, Brandon.
Yeah,
Mr. Garcia throwing strikes.
Yeah, and we'll probably see his slider here just watching him warm up, and it's impressive.
The 0-2 pitch on the way to Bates. Swung on a miss, and there it was. 2 outs here in the 10th. Applesox down to their final out. Barker now steps up for the Applesox. Jack is 2 for 4 tonight. Has a couple or a base hit. Couple of base hits and a run scored. So Jack, the last man standing here for the Applesox. 2 outs in the 10th. Pitch on the way is low for a ball. 1-0 to count. We will get you the NCWLIFE evening newscast coming up at 10 o'clock. after we finish the ball game here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. 1-0 the count, and the pitch is low again for ball 2. 2-0 to Jack Barker.
Patience at the plate right now.
Yeah, that's hard to do, especially when you know you're down to it, right?
Yeah.
Trailing it by 3 runs. The 2-0 pitch is a strike.
That's all right. That's not a pitch that you hit very hard unless you're looking away. But.
Right. I'd like to thank our crew tonight. Ethan Leonard back in the studio, our producer back there. Tucker Wagner helped us get everything else set up here tonight. Swinging a foul at the plate. The count goes to 2-2 here on Jack Barker. Camera folks, Juan Sanchez, Callie Benson, Jesse Ventura, and Eli Ginter tonight. Our production assistant, my lovely and talented, much better half, Marion Grandstrom. Thank you, Marion. I know she's would love to sharp things in her eyes right now. Pitch here swung on, and this could be the final out. It's a sky-high fly ball to center field, and that'll be it. And how about Kamloops? They come all the way back here and knock out the Applesox by a final of 9-6. We'll take a break, come back, wrap it up here from the ballpark. Coming up next on the NCWLIFE channel.
Get a great deal on making the most of every property. The Kubota commercial landscape lineup is built to do more. From the RTVX utility vehicle to the Z700 mower to the SVL track loader. When your reputation is on the line, you need equipment that doesn't let you down. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for 48 months, or save up to $4,000.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Welcome back one more time around here to Paul Thomas Senior Stadium, where the Kamloops Northpaws come back in 10 innings to beat the Wenatchee Applesox 9-6. 9 runs, 15 hits, and 3 errors for Kamloops. 6 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors for Wenatchee. Unofficially here tonight, the Applesox scored early. It looked like it was going to be one of those games where they could breeze through it, Brandon Schmitten, but unfortunately, Kamloops just hung around and kept coming and forcing, and they get the win.
They did, and the game last night was the same thing. You know, we scored in one inning, and they battled, and we ended up winning that one 4-3. And tonight, unfortunately, they did the same thing, which just shows that, you know, they're a very good ball club, and the reason why they're right up there at the top with us right now.
So the rubber match of the 3-game set will be tomorrow here at Paul Thomas, 6:35 game time between the two, and we'll be back here on Friday night for our next broadcast on the NCWLIFE channel as Port Angeles comes to call. Wenatchee trying to win another series and stay unbeaten in series this season so far. They'll have to get the win to do that tomorrow. So on behalf of our crew, thank you very much for joining us here for extra innings, free baseball tonight.
That's right.
And fortunately, it goes to the bad guys from the north as the Northpaws win it over the Wenatchee Applesox tonight by a final of 9-6 in 10 innings. For Brandon Schmitten and the rest of our crew, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again on Friday here on the NCWLIFE channel. Have a good night, everybody. Spy Busich.
Thanks for watching Wenatchee Applesox Baseball right here on the NCWLIFE channel. Tonight's broadcast was sponsored by our platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Abby's Pizza, Apple Valley Honda, Biosports Physical Therapy, Caldwell Banker Cascade Real Estate, Global Car Care, Harvest Valley Pest Control, the Highlander Golf Course and Grill, the Kennedy Real Estate Group, Les Schwab, Sangster Motors, Save Mart, Tacos Shava, Together for Youth, Valley Tractor, and Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. This has been a special presentation of NCWLIFE Channel Sports. We now return you to normal programming already in progress.
So the Applesox will advance